come up to me and, hey Zeus.
Greetings.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You gotta put that fake T there.
You shall do.
Put it down. It ain't good for you. I'ma make them suffer.
Good morning.
All of my haters are super fake T. I'ma make them suffer. They some pawns.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Fake T. It's getting real dangerous like Drake's Passage. All of my haters going the wrong way. Deep in their heart, they know they jealous of me. I got them running from me like a tidal wave. All the Zeus hate came out of nowhere. I'm talking next level, take another stare. Talking about me like I really care. I air you haters out, leave you on a chair. What you say is make believe, sipping on that fake tea. Talking kinda crazy when you on that fake tea. Now it's time to take it back, you know I'm your favorite. Look at who I came with, all you haters hating. All you haters is hating because y'all on that fake tea. I ain't gonna leave that stuff alone, it ain't good for you, you know it. We know it. I'ma make them suffer, they some pawns. All of my haters is super fake tea. I'ma make them suffer, they some pawns. All of my haters is super fake tea. Somebody needs to tell them that it's stepped on. They thinking they the Jetsons, but they Flintstones. Overdosing on these lies like it's nothing wrong. About to make them hang it up like it was a phone. No dial tone, send them straight to voicemail. I don't recognize this number, send them straight to hell. All my haters gossip cause they losing sales. Now you trapped, don't blame me, you in that cell. Now you trying to play me, sipping on that fake tea.
Ladies and gentlemen. Jackie, good morning.
And you know they dropping dimes, anyone can get
Alright,
signed.
happy
Haters on my
Tuesday,
timeline.
ladies and gentlemen.
Haters on my timeline.
You know what we came here to do? Let's get this show
Anyone can get
started. Let's get this show started.
Yeah. Feel like I'm stuck in a cycle.
Let's go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are all here. Ready off, huh? Absolutely. What's up, JB? What's up, CC?
It's deja vu when I'm running up these racks. I'm like the Terminator screaming. I'll be back.
Darn it, I know what I forgot to do. Vicky, thank you. Good morning, Vicky. How's everyone doing? Oh, you're right. It is Wednesday. My bad. Thrown off.
Look at my grass. Cars in the garage with tanks full of gas. I play the game so raw, I won't finish last.
That's right. Hold me accountable. You know what we do. Today is Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. The chat keeps me honest, right? Good morning, Miss Boss Diva. Good morning, Little Hawk. I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet. Hey, Benjamin Franklin is my bestie. OC, I see you, champion. Alrighty. Welcome all the Zeus minions out there, by the way. I said, what's going on? Jess, you're doing outstanding work, Jess. I don't know how you do it. I don't know where you find time to do it. Good morning, ladies. Hold on. Yeah, that's why. Share them. Oh, Jewel. Hello, Jewel. How are you doing? How's the family? Alright. Go ahead, DJ. Kill the music. Alright. Let's go ahead and kill the music. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Oh yes, today is Wednesday. I misspoke. Clearly, you know, the timing is off considering the holiday, right? All right, so let's get started and get this show off the road, all right? For those of you who do not know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media. There's nobody more honest than me, all right? The second H is because I'm humble. There's nobody more humble than me. Listen, if I get it wrong, you know, I will be the first to apologize. It just turns out I haven't been wrong lately, all right? And that's just how the cookie crumbles. Now, just because your feelings are hurt, that does not mean I owe you an apology. And then the last and final H, ladies and gentlemen, is because I am, you guessed it, the most handsome. Hold on. Hold on. I see a MAGA demon out there, and I want to check in real quickly. Somebody wrote BS in my chat. All man, is there something you would like to say to Zeus this morning? All man, because when you wrote BS in the chat, I almost took that personal, and I don't want to take it personal this bright and early on a Wednesday. Yeah. Okay, all man, are you there? All man, are you there? Good morning. How are you doing? All man, are you there? Oh, he was referring to the handsome part. All right, listen, all man. You know what that makes you, right? That makes you a hater, like my good friend Nutty Professor. You shouldn't be jealous of my handsomeness, all right? And I cannot hear you, all man, so I'm going to drop you back down into the comments. I do hope you sit your special behind down and you continue to listen to this special broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give all man what he deserves because he's jealous of my handsomeness. Give him what he deserves. I don't tolerate that. Nope, I don't do it. Oh man.
Silence, you MAGA demon!
Oh man, I will not tolerate that. Many of you understand why we are here on this side of town, on this side of TikTok. Because what we do over here, ladies and gentlemen, is very, very special. Despite the fact that it bothers them that I do this, right? I'm going to continue to do it. We hold our friends on the right. All right. You know exactly who these people are. These are people that are on TikTok all day long promoting MAGA ideology, right? What we do over here is we hold them accountable for their dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds as well as their crimes. And believe you me, ladies and gentlemen, isn't it safe to say that MAGA has hit the jackpot when it comes to crimes? Right, Rick? Right, Rick? Yes, hit them with the Zeus hands. All right. And so, with that being said, I got some bad news for you Trump supporters. You know, it's getting to the point where I'm starting to feel real bad for you Trump supporters. I'm feeling real bad. You might want to leave this live because it's going to get very, very uncomfortable. The way that I bring the truth about your cult leader, it makes a lot of you. If you're hungry, it'll make you full. You're not going to be so hungry. You know, I lost my appetite listening to Zeus. If you were happy, oh, I'm not so happy. I'm feeling a little depressed, and I need to go check in with my therapist. Why? Because Zeus exposed who Donald Trump really is to all of the followers that he has. All his friends come in there, and they beat Donald Trump and us up every day. I can't stand. Yeah, that's exactly what it's meant to do. Because what we understand is 2016, we'll give you that. We understood in 2016, we thought a lot of you would eventually come around and see who Donald Trump really was, right? But after January 6th, we realized, oh no, oh y'all are actually openly promoting this kind of behavior. And I said, you know what? Not on my watch. I will make sure every day I can, I'll get out here and remind you Trump supporters that you are all seditionists, treasonous traitors. As far as I'm concerned, you're not Christians, you're hypocrites. All right, you're not patriots. You're seditionists, treasonous thugs, all right? You are a disgrace to this country. And as far as I'm concerned, if you want to make America great, it begins with the mass deportation of Donald Trump and his supporters, right? So, if you are uncomfortable with the truth, leave right now because it's going to get uncomfortable. But get this, you don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
There you go. There you go, MAGA. All right. All right. If you're still here, that's if you're still here, that's completely on you. Many of you know who I am, and you know one thing about me. I refuse, and mark my word, I refuse to allow Trump supporters to be victims around me. Because you've done this country such a disservice, such a disgrace. You continue to lie day in and day out about your cult leader that at this point, I don't want to hear it. The one thing that makes me sleep well at night, ladies and gentlemen, is this case going on in New York where Donald Trump is actually having to be basically forced to review all of the things he did that got him in this situation, from the payments to Michael Cohen. You know what they said yesterday, ladies and gentlemen? And then we'll go into the first part of this. They actually said Michael Cohen is a gloat. What is a gloat? Greatest liar of all time. I said, Todd Blanche, he ought to have his behind beat, right? He should have his behind beat. You cannot go around and call anyone in Trump's orbit a gloat, greatest liar of all time, and then at the same time ignore your client Donald Trump, who lied to the American people. I would argue more than all the presidents in U.S. history combined. How did Donald Trump do that in 4 years? Seriously, he lied more than George Washington, right? All of them added up. Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, Abraham Lincoln. He lied, even if you add them all the way up to Joe Biden. Donald Trump lied more than these presidents combined. And yet, and still, Todd Blanche had the audacity to go up there and say Michael Cohen is a gloat. Todd Blanche, you're a liar just like your client. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't want to start the show off by doing it, but you know what? I got to do it. Join me in giving Todd Blanche and his client, deranged Donald Trump, what they deserve this bright and early on a Wednesday morning, right? And today's deliberations, right? Join me in giving them a round of boos and shame. I just can't stand that kind of stuff. I really can't stand it.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
All right, so listen up, ladies and gentlemen. You know Donald Trump is on his way to being found guilty because you can just hear the rhetoric coming out of MAGAville, right?
That is.
You can hear the rhetoric. You can hear the rhetoric coming out of MAGAville. Even Fox News is starting to prepare Donald Trump and his supporters, his cult believers, for the reality, which is Donald Trump's going to get convicted. Let's go.
Well, by 60 months to 4 years in prison. Okay, fine. But he's 77 years old without any priors. Why would he possibly
count?
Right.
Hold on.
This is the biggest question.
Yeah, it says it's punishable by 16 months to 4 years. So the question is, would he go to prison?
Right.
The legal experts say probably not. That's unlikely. If he did, Secret Service has to protect him for the rest of his life because he was a sitting president. And the question is, would they allow him, if it's home confinement, could he continue to campaign?
How can he? If you're in home confinement, don't confinement.
I just think the whole idea that we're having this conversation when it comes to the former president, for even if you say he is guilty, let's say you're that 1 in a million person that says that the prosecution came up with a crime here.
Even though there's no evidence.
Even though there's no evidence, but let's roll with it for a second. You got people that are carjacking people in this city, pushing people in the subway, and they're back on the street.
Yep.
So how can you justify putting the former president in prison for 40 years when you have a city that is in utter chaos?
Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to tell you, Fox News, how we could justify putting Donald Trump in prison despite the crime. The crime has always been happening before and after Donald Trump. Many of us in this country understand that's just a cost of being a large city, but crime isn't unique to just big cities. It's going on all across this country, especially in these churches, right? So I'm not necessarily concerned about the regular crime that's been going on, but we all know overall violent crime has gone down. So that's not an issue. But I can tell you why I could justify putting Donald Trump behind in prison. Believe it or not, I'm still upset that 2016, as far as I'm concerned, he engaged in election interference. The idea that Donald Trump during 2016 would get on stage at his rallies and chant, "Lock her up." He was talking about Hillary Clinton. And then here we are in 2024, and we're realizing that while he was championing her being locked up, he himself was committing crimes and hiding his dirty deeds from the American people. Lock his behind up. And I don't care if he has to go to jail for 40 years. He deserves it. If it was up to me, I'd send him somewhere else, right? I'd send him to a Russian penal colony. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, everyone. These Trump supporters are... Oh, wait a second. Oh, somebody told me to get over myself. See, I was trying to play nice this morning. Travis... Ladies and gentlemen, I got a bunch of Trump supporters in my comment section this morning. This is bothering me, all right? So number one, I got to help you Trump supporters understand you probably came into the wrong live. Yeah, I got a lot of that TDS, whatever you want to say it, right? I hate Donald Trump. I'm a big Trump hater over here. I don't know how you tripped, fell, and slipped and ended up in my live. But let me ask the audience, because sometimes I could go a little too far. Can you put a 1 in the chat if you would like to see Donald Trump go to prison? And put a 2 if you don't want to see him go to prison. 1 or 2. 1 means go to prison. 2 if you don't want to see them. Let's just see let's just see what the will of the people is in this chat this morning. All right? Because they think it's just me. Look at this, MAGA. Look at this. We're at 100 already, MAGA. You see this, MAGA? There's what, 600 plus people? MAGA, go get some of your friends, perhaps. Tell them to come in here and help you sway the poll numbers. But the overwhelming majority of people in this live, ladies and gentlemen, there's 700 plus now. Wow. Almost 200, well over 200 people. They want to see Donald Trump go to prison. I'm just the voice of the people. You don't hate Zeus. You hate the people, which makes you a traitor. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving Donald Trump and Fox and these Travis, you're still there, Travis? All these Trump supporters in my chat what they deserve this bright and early on a Monday morning. Another round of boos and shame.
Travis. You MAGA demon.
You hear that, Travis? Silence, you MAGA demon. All right, we're really trying to rehabilitate Trump supporters for the most part, but I understand sometimes you got to do what I call Operation Shock and Awe. Right, shock and awe. What we do is we send these Trump supporters, we send them back to the dark corners that they crawled from under, with some new information that they got to go back. You know how ants, when they eat the bait and then they go back to the little colony and then they poison everyone else. That's what I'm doing today. I'm ruining these Trump supporters' morning. Yesterday I got into a discussion with a MAGA demon yesterday. How many of you know who this MAGA demon is?
Struggle bubbles, struggle pancakes, struggle honey buns, struggle in the weight. Yeah, he's a struggler.
Yeah, Snuggles. He's a struggler. He's a MAGA demon. He's deranged. I've known this man for over 2 years, ladies and gentlemen. I got to say it to him. Snuggles, you need to get professional help, bro. You're spiraling, bro. You're getting desperate. You're defending stuff you really didn't used to defend when I first met you. But now you've abused our friendship and you're defending things that I would say are just doggone disgusting. He went on TikTok yesterday and started calling Stormy Daniels disparaging names because of what she's into, her industry. And I said, Snuggles, that's the wrong thing to do. You know your mom and your dad raised you better than that. At what point did you become not a Christian, but a hypocrite? And then before that, his live got reported because he was calling Stormy Daniels some nasty names. And he was denying that Donald Trump actually hooked up with Stormy Daniels. And so to all of the Trump supporters out there that don't believe Donald Trump hooked up with Stormy Daniels, I got some bad news for you. When I heard this story, I said, I don't even know how Melania. I don't even know. Now I understand why his kids didn't even take the witness stand. I understand why Donald Trump didn't take the witness stand, because this is gross behavior. Donald Trump's chief spokesman has lashed out at the new revelations about Trump's actions at the celebrity golf tournament he participated in, where he met up with Stormy Daniels and had a brief fling that has now come back to haunt him. Listen up to you Christians out there, those of you who are going to vote for Donald Trump. Listen to this story. In an interview with the Daily Beast, a celebrity athlete who wished to remain anonymous described the former president boasting about hooking up with Stormy Daniels the following day and called the former president's follow-up comments gross. This is what someone who was a witness to Donald Trump's behavior after he hooked up with Stormy Daniels said. He was close to Trump and Daniels while they socialized at the 2006 American Century Championship Celebrity Golf Tournament on the Nevada side of Lake Tahoe. So this is credible. And that's when he boasted about hooking up with Stormy Daniels because she was an adult film star, and says everyone there knew who he was talking about. Quote, it was clear to me and everyone who heard him that he was talking about Stormy. He said, and claimed that Donald Trump then went one step further. He encouraged other celebrities to try to hook up with her too. Yeah. He called the comment crass, gross, and stupid. He goes on and says, he'd say things like this, quote, you gotta smash a woman like Stormy Daniels. I'm keeping it TikTok friendly. You gotta hook up with a woman like Stormy Daniels, he says. It's incredible. It added 20 yards to my drive today. You hear this, MAGA? Donald Trump is out there bragging to his male partners that they should also do exactly what he did with Stormy Daniels. Don't use protection. All right, cheat on your wives while she's taking care of the toddler. All right, don't use it. Just do it. It adds 20 yards to your stroke. And this is the same person that your pastor is telling you to vote for? I don't believe it. I believe pigs can fly before I believe a pastor that's really qualified actually is endorsing Donald Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving Donald Trump and his supporters once again what they deserve. These are some disgusting people. They're a disgrace to this country. I've never seen anything like this. Their entire campaign is literally crumbling on itself because they know they're building a campaign on a bunch of lies. All right, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to build your foundation on rock. They're building it on sand and lies. And these people have been exposed for being what they are, a bunch of seditionists, treasonous traitors. Let's give them what they deserve. Another round of boos and shame. Yes, it's crumbling.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
I see there's some dissension in my comment section this morning. I tried to take it easy this morning, but you know, it is what it is. I see there's some dissension in my comment section. Maybe you didn't hear me at the top of the show.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Yep. And I'm standing on business with that. Nothing grinds my gears more than to see these MAGA folks out here crying like a bunch of babies, worse than babies. What are you crying about today? I can't find any. I can't afford these eggs. How much are they cost? They cost 50 cents more than they normally did. Really? Really? That's what you're crying? I can't pay for this gas, and this gas costing $10 more than it normally did. A bunch of weak individuals. You don't deserve to be here in the lap of luxury of the United States. You're a bunch of traitors, because we know you had no problem crying about those gas prices when Donald Trump was in office. Many of you forgot the unemployment rate shot through the roof, higher than it did during the Great Depression when Donald Trump was president. And not one time did you get on TikTok and start crying. So spare me the fake outrage. You're all a bunch of... You know what? Let's give them another round of boos and shame. Had no problem.
Silence!
Hold on.
You MAGA demon!
And you know what really got me really upset this morning? I had to think to myself before I started this show. I said, you know what? I'm really trying to be fair with these Trump supporters. For the past month, I've been begging, and I don't normally like to beg. Please, MAGA, please, bring me the dirt on Joe Biden so that I can change my vote if I need to. Please, MAGA, please. Oh, just you wait, Zeus. Just you wait. He's guilty, Zeus. Trust. Okay, but bring the evidence. And not one time have you liars brought Zeus or any of my friends that come up here and talk. Not one time have you brought us any evidence that proves Joe Biden is guilty. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, we got these 88 felony charges sitting heavy on Donald Trump, right? 4 different venues he's being indicted in. And you are out here saying, oh, that's not real evidence, Zeus. That's just proof that it's a witch hunt. This is why I say you're all a bunch of liars. You have zero credibility with me. Zero. And then they got this new thing going on. They actually are wanting to investigate Judge Juan Merchan in New York, ladies and gentlemen. You know why they want to invest? Well, why does he end up with the case? We think there's something funny that Judge Juan Merchan ended up with the case. This is what they got going on, and this is coming from Congress. Meanwhile, we got Judge Aileen Cannon out there in Florida with the classified documents playing games with the American people. We all know he stole those documents and lied to the FBI. But do you think Jim Jordan or James Comer think there's anything suspicious about what Aileen Cannon is doing for Donald Trump? By the way, Donald Trump appointed her, and she's trying to get a Supreme Court appointment from Donald Trump, and it's crystal clear. But I don't see you Trump supporters crying at the two-tier justice system out there in Florida. So guess what I'm going to do? Give you Trump supporters another round of booze and shame. You're sick. You're sick.
Silence! You never.
All right, now let's talk about poll numbers. And I got some more bad news for you Trump supporters. This is why I say Donald Trump's campaign is literally crumbling on itself, all right? Because the poll numbers are starting to show, guess who's starting to pull through, all right? And it's, you know who it is, Joe Biden.
Right now we're looking at polls of registered voters. But of course, you have likely voters and those who will actually turn out and vote. And if you look at the registered voters, Donald Trump's ahead by an average of 2 points. But look at likely voters right now. What we see in those polls, those same exact polls, but among likely voters, is a tie. And this is a very unusual pattern because normally what happens is the broader universe of all registered voters is more favorable to Democrats than those folks who actually vote. So back in 2020, Joe Biden won registered voters, or led amongst them in the post-election polls by 5
Joe
points.
Biden.
He, of course, only won by 4. Go back to 2012. What do we see? Among all registered voters, we saw Barack Obama would have won that group by 6 points, but of course he only won by 4. So this is a very different thing that we see going on here.
Thank you, Joe
When you
Biden.
look at all registered voters, you get actually a more favorable environment for Donald Trump than if you look at those folks who are actually likely to turn out.
Thank you.
Again, this is a flip from what we've seen historically.
Go ahead.
Are there any states this matters more than others?
Yeah, so, we're looking nationally, but of course things are determined in the Electoral College. And one state where the polls have consistently shown, the New York Times CNN College poll, I've also seen a little bit in our CNN poll when I dug into the crosstabs a little bit, where we see this massive jump from registered voters. Look at this, Donald Trump at 49%, Joe Biden at 42%. Go to likely voters, look at this, a well within the margin of error contest in which Joe Biden actually scores 47% to Donald Trump's 46%.
And that's the good news that I wanted to share with the kingdom. Yes, this is a CNN poll, the same polls that Donald Trump posts on his platform, True Social, MAGA. So don't even try it. Don't even try it. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving these Trump supporters in my chat what they deserve. Because it's okay when Donald Trump cites CNN polls, but when Zeus does it, all of a sudden they start doing the MAGA shuffle like we don't know they're playing games. Let's give them a round of booze and shame.
Silence! You never demon!
Maybe you didn't know this about me, but I don't allow Trump supporters to be victims around me, because as far as I'm concerned, they've done a lot of harm to this country. These folks are harassers. These folks are the abusers. All right, and if I was up to me, I would really send them to another planet. All right, where they could pretty much do whatever they could on that planet. All right. Now I want to bring this front and center to the American people. All right, our Supreme Court is totally conflicted. They're totally compromised. And the more and more I find out about their involvement with January 6th, the more and more I realize I have to keep covering January 6th on this show, because it's not over. It's not over. I will not rest until we get every single J6er fake hostages brought to justice under the President Biden's DOJ. All right, so we got more information about Justice Alito and his so-called wife. It turns out that she actually spat on a liberal neighbor during a dispute that saw police being called, according to reports. The wife of embattled Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito allegedly spat on the car of a neighbor with whom she had become embroiled in a weeks-long argument. A young couple living near Alito's residence in Fairfax County, Virginia, ultimately had to call the police, claiming they were being harassed by Martha and Alito, according to reports from the New York Times. It comes after, oh, Zeus, when are you going to be right? You haven't been. Wait a second. See, you only got 149 followers. Do me a favor, 83. You're not so smart, all right? 83, not so smart. Do me a favor. Won't you, for a quick second, and sit your special behind down and listen to this special broadcast. I'm right. You're wrong. You get what I'm saying to you? You're not that intelligent. I promise you. Every thought that's going through your head, 83 Smart, I promise you it's not yours. It's the MAGA demon telling you to say it. Sit your special behind down and you know what? Turn the TV off too. It ain't helping you. Just listen to me, all right? I'll get you right before this show is over. Back to what I was saying. So this couple lives in Fairfax County, and they had to call the police because they were being harassed by Martha and Alito. It comes after several reports from the newspaper which detail how flags used by supporters of Donald Trump's Stop the Steal campaign had appeared at two properties owned by the right-wing justice and his wife. The Alitos have reportedly flown an upside-down American flag. What a disgrace. Why would you fly the American flag upside down? What a disgrace to this country. You Trump supporters, I tell you, I got to keep it clean this morning. They flew it on the front lawn of their Virginia property in late 2020 and early 2021 in the days after Joe Biden took office. You know what? The Supreme Court right now is an embarrassment to this nation, right, ladies and gentlemen? They know that they are totally conflicted. They know there's a conflict of interest, and they know that they themselves are also implicated in what happened on January 6th, which only proves, once again, it was Donald Trump's doing, right? Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving the Alito family, the seditionists, traitors that they became, unfortunately, because they listened to Donald Trump and they drank the Kool-Aid. Join me in giving them a round of boos and shame. Thank you, man.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
All right. I got a couple of more topics, and then we will open up those boxes. All right. You know exactly what we're here to do. I got to keep up with the deliberations today. That's what's on the menu for Zeus today this morning. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now we got another update, and this is an example of boom. Thank you, Rick. This is an example of what happens to anybody that pledges allegiance to Donald Trump, all right? And you put Donald Trump above the United States Constitution. This is a story that I want you Trump supporters to understand will happen to you. This is another example of somebody getting the ultimate MAGA reward. And what is the ultimate MAGA reward? Jail. And if you don't get your soul right, hell, with a chapter 11 in between, right? I just went along with it. A Trump Elite Strike Force alum, Jenna Ellis' guilty plea to felony in Georgia has led to years-long law license suspension in the state of Colorado. Jenna Ellis has recently agreed to a law license suspension in the state of Colorado, where she cut her teeth as a local prosecutor before being fired and rebranding herself years later as a, quote, constitutional attorney for former President Donald Trump's campaign. Again, what they're saying is she became a lawyer on TikTok, all right? Last October, Ellis pleaded guilty in Georgia to aiding and abetting false statements and writings, a felony, all right? Though she had smiled in her Fulton County mugshot, Ellis got emotional at her change of plea hearing. speaking about how she takes her responsibilities as a lawyer very seriously. As an attorney who is also a Christian, this is what she said. I take my responsibility as a lawyer very seriously, and I endeavor to be a person of sound moral and ethical character in all of my dealings, Ellis said, acknowledging that she, quote, failed to do her due diligence while serving as a so-called elite strike force member who insisted that Donald Trump won the 2020 election. Quote, if I knew what I knew now, I would have declined to represent Donald Trump in the post-election challenges. This is how, the tears start flowing. She's going for a Grammy. She's going for an Oscar, I meant. Quote, I look back on this whole experience with deep remorse. Can't you see the pain in there? Can't you feel the pain out there? According to the stipulation, once Ellis' 3-year suspension has run its course, she can pursue reinstatement, but only after proving, quote, by clear and convincing evidence that she's been, quote, rehabilitated, has complied with all disciplinary orders and rules, and is fit to practice law. In other words, she better stay her special behind off of TikTok and quit hanging out with these fake TikTok hosts and these fake TikTok lawyers spreading baseless conspiracies designed to cause harm to our democracy. She better quit doing it, right? Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we came to do. Join me in giving Jenna Ellis, Rudy Giuliani's little pet project, right? Join me in giving this MAGA demon what she deserves, right? She deserves this. Let's give it to her. Another round of, you guessed it, booze and shame.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
Yeah, and I got a bit of an update. I gotta make sure I put this out there. All right. Thank you everyone for the support. Thank you for sharing the live. I really do appreciate it, and thank you for the subscriptions. All right, I really do appreciate it. Anyone want to tell Todd Blanche this? If anyone out there knows Todd Blanche, perhaps one of you major mainstream media news networks, please get this message out to Todd Blanche, all right? Because he needs to know what's coming after Donald Trump gets convicted, all right? And this is according to, a report that came out, all right? And I'm not going to go through it all, but I want Todd Blanche to know this. The one man perhaps even more anxious for a verdict than Donald Trump in this hush money trial is Todd Blanche. Todd Blanche has reportedly expressed Donald Trump, has already expressed his frustration with Blanche, his latest defense attorney. And if he loses, Trump's modus operandi is to go on the offensive. That's because there are two types of people in Donald Trump's personal orbit. Those who have been publicly trashed by the former president and those who will be. Todd Blanche, you're on your way to being publicly trashed by Donald Trump, bro. Run for the hills. Quote, there is no public client quite like Mr. Trump. Former Trump lawyer Jenna Ellis told the Daily Beast. While every person deserves competent counsel, that counsel also deserves loyalty from their client. Loyalty goes one way with Donald Trump. The problem with the current MAGA base is that they will take whatever position, all right, whatever position Donald Trump tells them to. The twice impeached ex-commander-in-chief has openly lambasted, to name but a few, his own national security advisor, John Bolton, right, as one of the, quote, dumbest people in Washington. His own Joint Chief of Staff Chair, General Mark Milley, a woke train wreck. His own Attorney General, William Barr, a coward, one who didn't do his job, or a gutless pig, right? His own UN ambassador, Nikki Haley, called her a bird brain. His own Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, lazy as hell. Campaign advisor, Steve Bannon, sloppy Steve. And his own Vice President, Mike Pence, wimp, traitor, not a good person, or, the P word. All right? So I just want to make sure Todd Blanche understands what's going to happen, right? Todd Blanche, your end is coming soon, bro. You drank the Kool-Aid, and now you're on your way to getting the ultimate MAGA reward, which you know what it is. Jail, and if you don't get your soul right, hell with a Chapter 11 in between. And you're probably going to have Donald Trump's foot in your behind along the way, right? Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving Todd Blanche what he deserves. A round of booze and shame. Yep, exactly. Silence, you MAGA demons. Ladies and gentlemen, see, the thing is, I see we got a lot of dissension in the audience this morning. And you know, I don't understand why you Trump supporters, so honestly, I don't understand why you're so upset because I get out here and I tell the truth. I keep telling you Trump supporters, look at this, right? Look at that. No strings attached. I am not a hand puppet, all right? No one's getting out here and forcing me to say this. This is all happening as a result of hard work, all right, and dedication. If you pay attention to the information that's out there, you will be where I'm at, maybe even further, all right? All right, and so I would rather do this, honestly, than to be sitting in a jail cell, all right, like you so-called hostages are, believing the lies that Donald Trump continues to tell you. I would rather do this, all right? Don't I look good doing it, right? Bama, shh, Bama, be quiet, bro. You're out here in the audience embarrassing yourself. I don't know if you saw the poll numbers, but a majority of people in this live believe Donald Trump should be in prison. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like the voice of the people. If you got a problem with me, that means you got a problem with the people, which means, like I said at the top of the show, you're a traitor, bro. You're on the wrong side of history. I keep trying to tell you this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's round the corner. I got to cover another January 6er update. You know how this goes. Let's cover it. All right, we got another MAGA demon brought to justice. All right, and this is courtesy of the Biden DOJ. All right, so what I want to do, ladies and gentlemen, is I want to help you all understand what happened that resulted in this Trump supporter getting indicted. All right, because a lot of them, when the FBI knocks on their door, FBI, open the door. You know what did I do? How did this happen? This is how they act when the FBI shows up. You know why the FBI showed up. You know why they showed up. You know you were at the Capitol on January 6th. You know you left the evidence all over social media. But Donald Trump, or I don't understand. I didn't break the law. Okay, so let me help you understand how you broke the law then. Okay, and it doesn't start with you just showing up at Washington, D.C. It started when you violated yourself. You violated the oath you made to yourself to be honest with yourself. Well, I was honest with myself. No, you were not. How was I not honest with myself, Zeus? Listen up. You remember when Donald Trump said this, MAGA? Do you remember when Donald Trump said this?
It's a rigged election. It's the only way we're going to lose.
Do y'all remember when Donald Trump said that? Trump supporters, don't get quiet now. Do you remember when your cult leader said this?
It's a rigged election. It's the only way we're going to lose.
Bama, are you there? That was him that said that. Okay, I got some out there. Good. All right, follow me. I'm going to take you on a ride real quick. All right? So when he said that to you, you should have said, well, that makes absolutely no sense. Because that means all elections since this country was founded up until now would have to also have been rigged. Or you're going to go the other way and say, this is the only election in American history that's been rigged. Either way you look at it, it should have caused you to pause. Because the next step you should have went to is Donald Trump an honest person? And if you would have been honest with yourself, you would have said, absolutely not. Donald Trump is a liar, and I better take what he says very, like it's just entertainment. It's not true. But a lot of you believed him. So now that you believed him, let me remind you of what happened. So the election results came in November. We all sat there. We were glued to our TVs, our smartphones, and there wasn't a red wave. Remember that feeling, MAGA? Remember that feeling? There wasn't a red wave. And instead, there was a blue tsunami and a big blue wall. Now, you were angry, and this guy, a master manipulator, he knew that he could capitalize on that anger. You want to know how he did it? All right? And this is based off of scientific evidence. He did it by fueling it. This is how he fueled it. Instead of conceding to Joe Biden, listen to what he says.
We had such a big night. You just take a look at all of these states that we've won tonight, and then you take a look at the kind of margins that we've won them by. And all of a sudden, it's not like we're up 12 votes and we have 60% left. We won states, and all of a sudden, I said, what happened to the election? It's off. And we have all these announcers saying, what happened? And then they said, oh, because you know what happened? They knew they couldn't win, so they said, let's go to court. And did I predict this, Newt? Did I say this? I've been saying this from the day I heard they were going to send out tens of millions of ballots. I said exactly, because either they were going to win, or if they didn't win, they'll take us to court. So Florida was a tremendous victory.
You hear that, MAGA? You can hear the little crying in his voice. That's a clue that he's lying. He's desperate. But he did it so well, you actually believed him. Right? So now that he's got you really reeled in, look at this little trick that he played on you. Look at this little trick that he played. This is a clever trick. I've never seen anyone do it. Donald Trump is probably one of the greatest to do it. But listen to this trick he did to you.
76,000 votes with almost nothing left. And all of a sudden everything just stopped. This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
Now, what was the trick, Zeus? He told the truth. That's the funny thing. He lied right there. And then at the same time that he lied, he actually convinced you that you guys really won. That was right. And so imagine this, MAGA. Now that you believe you really won, doesn't that justify you doing whatever it takes to make things right? Follow me. Follow me. This is what he did to you. Now, meanwhile, I'm looking at that, and a lot of my friends were going, that's hilarious. Anyone that believes that, you're crazy. That's how I looked at it. But you really believed it, right? So what does Donald Trump do after that? He says, well, if I got away with that, I could probably get away with this, right? And you all remember this moment, right? Remember this?
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have. I just want.
So that's the fake elector scheme. So he got y'all worked up, and then he makes this fake elector scheme thing happen. He got a couple of things going. You're ready. You're ready. You guys are wet and ready for Donald Trump's next orders, right? You're ready. Sir, we're ready. Just give us the order. And Donald Trump knows that. And you know what he did next? All right. You remember this? He did this, ladies and gentlemen. He did this next. Keely, be quiet. Hold on. I'll talk to you after the show if you're still here. But, you know, I want you to just really sit your special behind down and listen to this, all right? So that was Donald Trump. Let me do it again because Keely is not focusing, and I want her to focus, all right? Listen, Keely. For you. Attention! Keely Ramos Betancourt. I lost to Joe Biden, Keely. And what I need you to do is sell everything that you have and send the money to me because I'm your daddy now, right? And then after that, Keely, I would like for you to meet me in Washington, D.C. at a big protest, all right? Be there will be wild. You remember this, right, Keely? You remember this, right? That was your invitation to meet up with Donald Trump, your new commander-in-chief. He looked at you like you were the modern-day Confederate soldiers, and y'all looked at him like he was the modern-day Jefferson Davis, right? And so what happened next? Keely, I'm glad that you are speaking up and really, because, you know, you're showing me that I'm getting to you. You wouldn't believe this, Keely, and I didn't want to believe it either. But a lot of your friends, maybe even you all came up with an economical way to get to Washington, D.C., all right, you want to know how most of you got to Washington, D.C.? You know, you could have flown, you could have driven yourself. Some did that. But there were some of you that seen something like this is a U-Haul. And if I see U-Hauls now, I'm a little traumatized when I see U-Hauls now. But y'all came up with an idea to get in the back of this, right? 2 people in the front and put 12 or so individuals in the back of the U-Haul. I don't know if this thing had air conditioning or not, but I don't think it did. And y'all were just crammed in there like some sardines bouncing up. I'm going to Washington, D.C. to meet up with Donald Trump and to save our country is what you were believing. And you want to know who was in the back of these U-Hauls, Keely? You wouldn't believe this either. Look at this right there. You know who that is, Keely? That's not the FBI. That's not BLM. That's not Antifa. No, that's the Patriot Front, the Oath Keepers, the Proud Boys, the Boogaloo Boys, armed and ready. Wet and ready, too, if you ask me. Now, one thing about this photo, Keely, and I didn't want to do it, but I'm going to always call it out. You notice they're wearing those masks, Keely? You notice they're wearing these masks, MAGA? It's the most bizarre thing because this was during the pandemic when a lot of these stores had mask requirements. You know, in order to come in, you got to wear a mask. And so you Trump supporters would go into the store with the mask on like this, right? Soon as you get in the store, you drop it. You can't force me to wear a mask. That's how you guys are, right? You go up to them and you see the snot coming out of their nose. And you say, sir, could you put the mask above your nose so you're not spreading your germs all over the produce? And the dude would go like this. I can't breathe. Coughing all over the produce, Keely. You remember this? I can't breathe. Will you make me wear that mask? My civil rights. It's my Bill of Rights constant. You know, they give you all the reasons why they couldn't wear that mask. But then Keely, if you notice, they had no problem when it became time for them to be racist and criminals. They had no problem putting those masks on, Keely. See how I caught you in another lie, MAGA? How I catch you folks in these lies? You had that mask on and you moseyed on down to Washington, D.C. to meet with your cult leader, Donald J. Trump. And I don't know if you remember this, Keely, but when you got to the Capitol, Lieutenant Marjorie Trader Green, who we all suspect planted those pipe bombs, right there. Look at the shoes. You got to match the shoes, right? Lieutenant Marjorie, we call her B6 now, right? Thanks to Jasmine Crockett. She gave you all some orders.
If we flood the Capitol building, flood all the government buildings, go inside. These are public buildings. We own them. We own these buildings. Do you understand that? We own the buildings and we pay all the people that work in the building. Finished with our meetings here at the White House this afternoon. We had a great planning session for our January 6th objection. We aren't going to let this election be stolen by Joe Biden and the Democrats. President Trump won by a landslide. Call your House reps, call your senators from your states. We've got to make sure they're on board. We already have a lot of people engaged. Okay, stay tuned.
So she's instructing you Trump supporters to get ready to attack the United States Capitol. You're ready, but you won't do it until Donald Trump gives you those orders. But you're ready. You showed up with those weapons and stuff like that, right? The U-Hauls and all of that, right? So what happens next is a bit of American history. I think years from now, ladies and gentlemen, when this part of history is retold, it's going to be probably considered one of the greatest acts of heroism in this country by a sitting vice president. Donald Trump goes into the office to talk to his vice president, Mike Pence. Hey, Pence, buddy. Everything's in motion. I got the fake elector scheme in motion. I got my troops waiting for us at the ellipse. All we need you to do, Pence, is what you and I talked about. Don't certify those votes for Joe Biden, and everything will be on the up and up. And Pence grew a little spine that day, and he said, Mr. President, unfortunately, I will not be able to do that for you, because if I do that, that would require me to place you above the United States Constitution, a document that our founding fathers and the framers fought for, a document that even to this day Americans continue to fight and die for, Mr. President. And as a matter of fact, I don't think anyone that asks me to do that, which is to put them above the Constitution, I don't think they're fit to be president. So no, I will not follow you down that path into this crime you're going into. And you know what Donald Trump did? In an act of anger and frustration, he leans into Mike Pence. His breath is smelling like Big Macs and Diet Cokes. And he says, you know what your problem is, Pence? You're a little too honest. Yeah. And he called him the nasty P word. The same P word that you hear in the Access Hollywood tape. I'll take care of this myself. Security! He calls to his Secret Service. Take me to the ellipse to meet up with my soldiers. Sir, those folks are armed to the T. They got tactical gear. They got military grade equipment. These are the worst of the worst, sir. We don't think it's safe for you to be there. Really? This is what he says. Really? They got all of that? Yes. I don't care. They're not bringing it there to harm me. Take me to be with my troops at the ellipse. Keely, are you still here? Keely, I don't see you in the chat. I'm really making sure you understand what happened. So they take him to the ellipse to meet up with his soldiers, all right? You want to see who his soldiers were that day, ladies and gentlemen? More evidence of a crime. Look at these soldiers right here, ladies and gentlemen. These are the soldiers right there that were at the United States Capitol on January 6th. And when he sees them, he gets onto the stage, ladies and gentlemen, and he encourages them to engage in heinous acts of violence.
Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol. And we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength and you have to be strong.
You see that, ladies and gentlemen? He's encouraging his supporters to engage in heinous acts of violence. All right? It didn't stop there. Right? It didn't stop there. You know what happened. So this is what's going on in the minds of his supporters.
And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft.
You don't concede when there's theft involved.
And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
So, let's have trial by combat.
Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength. And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved.
So, let's have trial by combat.
That's what's going on in the minds of his supporters. People ask me, well, why don't you play the peacefully and patriotically part? I don't play that part because that wasn't even the bulk of what he was saying. That was an eeny-weeny tiny little fraction of everything that Donald Trump said. What he was basically saying that day is let's go to the Capitol and beat some people up and beat them into submission and steal this country from Joe Biden and the rest of them. That's what he was basically instructing you to do. All right? And you know who Ashley Babbitt is, ladies and gentlemen? Do you know who Ashley Babbitt is? Ashley Babbitt provided us with proof that she listened to Donald Trump's words, all right? Fighting like hell. Let's have trial by combat and all of the other stuff. You could hear it in her rhetoric, in her tone, that she really was obeying her commander-in-chief, Donald Trump. All right, we have Ashley Babbitt on tape, ladies and gentlemen. You know how this goes. This is Ashley Babbitt, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to what Ashley Babbitt was saying right after Donald Trump riled her up, all right, and sent her to the United States Capitol. Listen to what she was saying.
District, why don't you worry about your own goddamn district and the shit's going on there? You are a complete, I'm telling you right now, I'm putting all you on notice. Every single one of you politicians in California, Gavin Newsom, Jerry Brown, Maxine Waters, Duncan Hunter, what the hell is Kamala? Where is Kamala? Talking about ISIS like KKK. We got this migrant camp. You know what? We have thousands of people on the other side of the border. If people can't get to work, our economy is going to take an absolute tank because you guys ground definitely say something different. There is a sea of nothing but red, white, and blue, Patriots and Trump.
You hear that? And we all know what happened to Ashley Babbitt, right? You remember this moment, ladies and gentlemen, when she was in the Capitol and she lost her life in the battlefield for Donald Trump. Remember? She got the ultimate MAGA reward that day. She got that ultimate MAGA reward because she chose to believe Donald Trump's big lie. Keely, are you still here? She wouldn't have been there if Donald Trump wouldn't have sold her that lie that the election was rigged. She wouldn't have been there if he didn't invite her to Washington, D.C. All right, at this so-called big protest telling her it was going to be wild. Donald Trump is single-handedly responsible for Ashley Babbitt's loss of life on January 6th. This is 100% his fault. And what did Donald Trump do when he found out that one of his foot soldiers lost their life in the battlefield because of his big lie? What did Donald Trump do? Does anyone know what Donald Trump did when he found out Ashley Babbitt lost her life in the battlefield because she trusted in her? Exactly, Jackie. He did absolutely nothing.
Some information that stands out to me is that Donald Trump was passed a note after one of the rioters was shot in the Capitol and was made clear that this person had been shot, this woman had been shot in the chest. And the valet says that he offered no reaction upon learning that. He kept sitting in the chair watching the violence unfurl on TV.
A non-reaction at the death of Ashley Babbitt.
A non-reaction at one of his soldiers losing their life in the battlefield, ladies and gentlemen. This is January 6th, the crime scene that many of us Americans recall. This was not a peaceful protest. This was not some sort of deep state plot organized by the FBI or BLM or Antifa dressing up in MAGA gear. This is 110% Donald Trump and his supporters planning an assault on our United States government, all right? And it was fueled by his rhetoric and the big lie. These folks were armed. This is sedition in plain sight. This is January 6th, all right? And with that being said, you know what time it is. We have another fugitive who's been brought to justice, ladies and gentlemen. We have another J6 fugitive who's been brought to justice. Former Marco Rubio intern has been indicted. Look at this MAGA demon, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this MAGA demon. It's a sad day in America when we have to keep doing this day in and day out to help remind folks just how dangerous MAGA is. A South Florida woman who reportedly interned for Senator Marco Rubio in Florida was indicted this month for her alleged involvement in the January 6th Capitol insurrection. A federal grand jury indicted Barbara Balsmeda, 23. She's 23 years old. Wow. On charges related to storming and entering the Capitol on January 6th alongside at least one Proud Boy member. Sick. She is from Miami Lakes, has years-long ties to the Florida Republican Party, and interned for Rubio from 2018 to 2019. The Hill reached out to Rubio's office for comment. Federal investigators say she chatted with Gabriel Garcia, a member of the Proud Boys, in the weeks leading up to the insurrection, in which she expressed the belief that the 2020 election was stolen from former President Trump. The two coordinated travel arrangements to Washington, D.C. for days surrounding January 6, authorities said. Garcia was found guilty last year of 2 felony charges in connection with the Capitol breach, and he is slated to be sentenced in September. Messages obtained by authorities showed pictures of Balsmeda wearing a Trump 2020 hat with Garcia and others in the D.C. on January 6, while phone records show her cell phone was in the area of the Capitol around the time of the riots. While in D.C. on January 6, she was photographed with Garcia in the Black Lives Matter Plaza before she walked in a large crowd toward the Capitol. Federal investigators said she and Garcia allegedly climbed on equipment staged near the Capitol before entering the building as the crowd chanted "Our House" and USA. After leaving the inside of the Capitol, she continued to take pictures of herself on the Capitol grounds and later sent memes about the insurrection, court filings say. She was arrested in December in Miami Lakes. She faces 5 criminal counts, including corrupt obstruction of an official proceeding, knowingly entering and remaining in a restricted building, and engaging in disorderly conduct in the Capitol with the intent to impede a session of Congress. All right. In a statement to the media, her attorney said, quote, "We look forward to presenting a vigorous defense on her behalf as we have entered a plea of not guilty. It is our position that the government is overzealously presenting charges against individuals that have very little to no connections to what occurred on January 6th. This is what her attorney is saying. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? Unfortunately, that defense isn't going to work. So since we have another fugitive has been brought to justice, you know what we must do, ladies and gentlemen. Join me in giving this seditionist, treasonous traitor, this MAGA demon, what they deserve. A round of boos and shame.
Silence, you MAGA demon!
All right. And since she's been brought to justice, let's send her off the old-fashioned way. You wanted to be a soldier in Donald Trump's army? All right, here we go.
I'd like to begin by addressing the heinous attack on the United States Capitol. Like all Americans, I am outraged by the violence, lawlessness, and mayhem. I immediately deployed the National Guard and federal law enforcement to secure the building and expel the intruders. America is and must always be a nation of law and order. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
You know, you often wonder, is he talking about himself when he's telling his supporters that? Because he should throw himself in there, right? All right.
I know your pain. I know you're hurt. We had an election that was stolen from us. It was a landslide election, and everyone knows it, especially the other side. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened, where they could take it away from all of us, from me, from you, from our country. This was a fraudulent election, but we can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special. You've seen what happens. You see the way others are treated that are so bad and so evil. I know how you feel. But go home and go home in peace.
You hear that? You hear that, MAGA? Are there any questions out there, honestly, about what happened on January 6th? Because, you know, I do this every show. Are there any questions about who's responsible for the attack on the United States Capitol on January 6th after hearing all of that? I don't think that there should be any questions. As far as I'm concerned, it's an open and shut case. All right, and so this is why I get on you Trump supporters, because you don't get it. Do you all realize that you're all being played like a fiddle? A lot of these Trump supporters say, Zeus, Joe Biden he's an embarrassment. The rest of the world is laughing at us. No, no, no. Let me clear that up for you, MAGA. The rest of the world isn't laughing at the United States. The rest of the world, including some of us here in the United States, in the United States, this is actually more serious than it is funny. But for the rest of the world, you look ridiculous. It's funny because you are all in a circus. All right? Folks like Retribution, right? This Retribution is a MAGA demon in the comments. You're in a circus that's being ran by Donald J. Trump. I kid you not. Donald Trump is probably going to go down in American history as the most successful ringmaster that ever walked the face of this earth. The way he got you Trumpies, wearing these red hats and doing all these things for him in his little circus. Donald Trump he does exactly what a clown does, all right? If you follow Donald Trump like most of us do, you can see he does exactly what a clown does, right? A clown every day puts on makeup, right? It puts on makeup. Look at this guy right there. He puts makeup. Ooh, 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 Melania, MAGA, don't I look so good? And you all say, yes, sir, you look gorgeous. You look handsome, Donald. I don't know how you say it. And then a clown puts on that little thing on his waist with that ridiculous suit. Donald Trump does the same thing. He puts the diapers on, right? And then he puts on that same crumpled blue suit with that ridiculous red tie. And he tells you all, go ahead, buy those golden shoes. You do it. Walk that tightrope of lies. You do it. Jump through the hoops of misinformation and disinformation. And you all do it voluntarily. He doesn't even pay you. You do it for free. In his world, you're all just a bunch of suckers and losers. He loves the poorly uneducated right attacking, and you all eat it up like pigs eat slop. I've never seen anything like this in my life. You're an embarrassment to this country, you're a disgrace to this nation, and you're not that intelligent, to be quite honest. Yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, you should have seen what Donald Trump, you want to see what Donald Trump looked like yesterday, ladies and gentlemen? By the way, when I say he's a clown, right, this is what I mean. I got to keep it clean. But this is what they showed me. This is what's on the internet of what happened when Donald Trump walked out of the courtroom. Y'all see this mess? What should we call this picture? You know what I call it? Cooked. I call this picture cooked. This is what it looks like when the prosecution cooks you. Yeah, guilty. Y'all listen to this man. Y'all listen to this guy. I don't know. I mean, if this is the backside, imagine what the front side looked like when the prosecution got done cooking his mind. Ain't no way on earth anybody in their right mind could get out here and openly endorse this individual. Are you blind or something? Do you not see what we're seeing? Are you deaf? You don't hear what we hear? I mean, what's going on, MAGA? Seriously. There's no excuse for this. You can try to make Joe Biden look like something he's not all you want, but we got the evidence to show you. Donald Trump is the worst of the worst, the lowest of the lowest. And any of you who continue to worship him and smell his dirty diaper, as far as I'm concerned, you deserve to get the same outcome as he's going to get. Jail, and if you don't get your soul right, hell. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got to open up these boxes. All right, that concludes my monologue. And by the way, shout out to President Biden. All right, the stock market closed at a record high. When they tell me Joe Biden is destroying this country, I refuse to believe it. Absolutely not. All right, so I'm going to open up these boxes, and we're gonna try to hear from regular Americans out there who want to tell the truth about what's going on. All right, but if you're a Trump supporter, I want you to know, yes, the burden is on you now to actually be able to come into the live and present credible information that supports whatever you believe. I'm not getting into any discussions about stuff that doesn't matter. One of these lives I went to, Zeus told me about HR2. I'm not telling you about no HR2. No, I'm talking about what's really going on, not none of your little failed policies, because I don't keep up with a lot of that stuff the right does, unless it's, involving crime, right, ladies and gentlemen? And conservative D and retribution, you can keep begging Zeus to debate all you want. But, I thought about it and I said, when you start trying to say that TikTok is collaborating with Zeus to make your arguments or to make your life worse, I said, I can't go there. I just really can't, because that's just too far down the rabbit hole with the conspiracies. I have no connection. I shouldn't even have to say this. The fact that I don't have any connection with TikTok, but you would use that as an excuse shows how deranged and how weak you really are. I mean, seriously. All right, let's bring up our first panelist. Oh, we have a MAGA demon who wants to come up here and talk.
Oh, Lord. Hey, boy, I've been hearing you all morning. I ain't heard nothing but lies, lies, lies. You burning hell wide open for lies.
Are you talking about Donald Trump?
No, I'm talking to you.
Well, what did I lie about?
Everything
Wait, you got an echo. I can't do it.
Everything you say about Trump.
There's an
I ain't
echo,
got no
bro.
echo.
Yes, yeah. Try to send another request, bro. Oh my God, that MAGA Wi-Fi is something else, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give Bama what he deserves. Around the booze and shame. Look at my comments even disappeared, Bama. You're disgusting. Bama, now try to request, Bama, because it was echoing, but, send another guest request, all right? There's a lot of echoing. And maybe you should turn the TV down, too, in the background, if that's what it is, all right? You don't need to have the TV on when you come talking to Zeus, all right? Just come on in as you are, and we'll get you right, all right? Hold on, now I can't even open the box. Jesus Christ, Bama, what the heck did you do to my live, bro? Jesus Christ, Bama. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Oh, okay. All right. All right.
That's that Biden Wi-Fi.
No, it's not.
Oh, yes, it is.
All right. So you said there's still an echo, man.
I'm going to tell you, how can the election was stolen? How would you count votes at 2 o'clock in the morning for it if you didn't steal if the election was stolen?
Can I say this? Where are you getting that information from?
It's what do you think?
You know how this works. Listen, there's an echo. I can't do it, bro.
I ain't got no echo. I got nothing.
Ask the chat. Did we hear the echo, ladies and gentlemen? Did you hear the echo? Yeah, there's something going on. I don't know what it is. But maybe, yeah, we all heard the echo. So you're asking about the votes that were being counted in the wee hours of the night. That's consistent as far as I'm concerned with how things have been. Yeah, you're right, Poker. That's not the real issue. I actually believe, Bama, that if they voted on time, yeah, you should count those votes. That's what I believe. And if it means going into the wee hours of the night to do it, absolutely. Because every American that can vote, they should be able to. Otherwise, it's what I call another example of election interference. The reason that they wanted them to stop early, from what I understand, is because that would have given Donald Trump an advantage if he didn't count all the votes, Bama. All right? But if you got your vote in on time, you know what they say, if it's time stamped, and the postmarked on time, it's as good as gold. Bama. So that wasn't a lie that I told. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving Bama what he deserves. Because he listens to my show, but he's not paying attention. And I'm starting to get real concerned that there's a bigger issue, perhaps with comprehension, that he needs to actually address independently on his own. Let's give him what he deserves. A round of booze and shame. Sorry, Bama. Joe Tinsley, I can't bring you up because you don't have the ability to go live, even though you got 12,000 followers, it says. So what that tells me, Joe, is perhaps you're on timeout on TikTok because of the lies and the misinformation you've spread before, Joe? Is that what is going on, Joe? So you've lost your ability to go live like Snuggles. Get this, Joe. Snuggles got I know you got your degree from Snuggles University, right? And he's the king of misinformation on TikTok. You must not have understood that Snuggles got his degree from Trump University. And you see how that ended. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving Joe Tinsley, all right, what he deserves. I don't even really need to talk to him to know he's a MAGA demon and he's a liar. And as far as I'm concerned, he's a seditionist, treasonous traitor. Join me in giving him a round of boos and shame. Hi, Joe.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
All right, good morning, Alton Jackson. Good morning, champ. How are you doing?
I am good. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Just another day in the kingdom, tending to the affairs as usual. Any updates for us?
Today is my birthday, and there's no place else I'd rather be than listening to your live on my special day.
Well, listen, congratulations. All right. Well, we might have to sing you happy birthday, all right, my good friend. All right. You've been rocking with Zeus for quite a while. All right. I've always seen you out there. Welcome. And what are you? You're gonna be here later, I would say, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, listen. I'll bring you up. But is there anything you would like to say to the community before we do that? I should say.
One thing that I'd like to say, did you hear what Jasmine Crockett said she was going to say to Marjorie Taylor Greene?
What did she say? I mean, there's
She
been
said,
so much. There's been
because
so
she
much.
said what she was going to say originally was, maybe if you had eyebrows, you would still be married.
What? You know what, Alton? I don't even think eyebrows could fix what she's got going on. To be quiet, eyelashes. Okay, it was eyelashes. All right.
Yes.
It doesn't even matter. You know what they say, right? You can put lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig, kind of thing, right?
That's true. That's true.
As far as I'm concerned, she's as good as gone. She's cooked. She's no good. Damaged goods is what they say.
That's true. And one last thing. Anybody who can't see the faults in Trump in 2024, to me, they'll never see the faults if you still can't see them this far.
Do you think that they can't see the faults or because see in 2016 I would say I was that kind of person. You just can't see the faults. You're spiritually blind. But don't you think that folks should already know because they got access to this information, they got smartphones and things like that. At this point, is there really any excuse for not knowing?
No.
This is deliberate, right?
Right.
That's why I don't. That's why I say I'm not going to give them any more excuses. This is evil.
Right.
These folks are evil. Right.
Right. Like you always say, you're the most honest and the most handsome.
Thank you.
And I can't remember the last thing.
Honest, humble, handsome. You know what they are.
Yes.
Yeah. We have no reason. You and I. We have no reason to get out here every day and lie. Right.
Right.
Because you know what they say, when you lie, you got to keep up with the lies.
Right. My mother always told me, if you tell a lie, you got to tell another one to keep up with that one.
Yep. Yeah. And so when they get out here and they start trying to say Zeus is lying, he's Soros funded, I just laugh because that means there's going to be a lot of work on their side to keep that going, right?
Right.
They gotta keep making up stuff just to even sound relevant. Because they've went so far away from the truth, so far away from the facts. And it's dangerous. It's disgusting. And like I said, it's a disgrace to this country what they're doing.
Right. And I agree with you.
Yeah. Well, listen, you're gonna be here towards the end of the show. I'll bring you back up and we'll sing happy birthday, my brother. All right,
all righty.
Thank you for doing all the work you're doing in the comment section, giving it to MAGA the way you do. I truly appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Alton and happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Can you drop me down, please? I don't mind.
Yes, sir. I got you, champ. All right, now listen, there's a MAGA demon out there. I saw what they said. Where is the comment section? Oh my. I don't know what the heck is going on. My comments. My gosh, ladies and gentlemen. It seems like get a guess comments now. I see the comments. All right, all right. I seen somebody say something, and I wanted to make sure I didn't let it go. All right. Let's see. Okay, never mind. I thought I saw a MAGA demon say something that I wanted to address. All right. Let's move it along. Patrice, how are you doing, Patrice?
I'm fine.
Good morning. How are
Good
you?
morning to everybody. I've been this week has been kind of busy for me, so
Yeah.
I haven't been totally listening to you. But I apologize
No, no,
because
no, no, no.
I
Listen,
love to
listen.
come on.
You got a life to live. I get it.
No, I just wanted to say with this trial, the jury about to start. I just pray this guy has got to stop skating off. He's got to. They have to. I just pray that enough. They find him unanimously guilty.
You
You
want
know,
you want them to find him guilty, Patrice?
yeah, well, because he is guilty, so he has to have retribution for what he's done.
What makes you believe that Donald Trump? I mean, I could maybe if you were to say, because clearly they call us Trump haters, right?
Uh huh.
But
Well,
what made it crystal clear to you that Donald
well,
Trump
I
was
know
guilty of the crime?
Michael Cohen has a believability problem, but he also had documents
Mm.
to justify what he was saying. Yeah, he did some bad thing. He lied, but he has the proof.
They
And
say
the
he
jury,
stole money from Donald Trump in the process.
that was when he thought he wasn't gonna get his money. I don't say that's right.
Yeah.
But if you have done all of this illegal stuff for somebody because you're loyal to them and they don't want to pay you, I understand why he felt like he had to do that, even though it was wrong.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't make what Donald Trump did with the hush money stuff
Yeah.
is illegal.
Mm. Mm. And so you're saying, despite whatever Michael Cohen had going on, it doesn't detract away from what you think Donald Trump did, or what the evidence suggests Donald Trump did, right?
And
So
yes, remember, Michael Cohen already paid for his crime. He's
good
been
point.
in jail.
Good point. Good point. What about they say this is Biden's DOJ being weaponized? Do you think President
I
Biden?
don't see Merrick Garland. Merrick Garland is nowhere in this trial.
Mm,
I mean, come on now.
you,
This
you
is
you don't think President Biden and maybe some other people had a secret meeting and they came up with this scheme to indict Donald Trump in order to stop him from winning the 2024 election? You don't think so?
not even. I believe that President Biden and Vice President Harris was trying to heal the nation for the 4 years we had to go through. They
Got
ain't
it.
had time to worry about Donald Trump.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, and you and I, we don't coordinate and have these kind of meetings offline,
No
right?
sir. No
This is
sir.
100% your opinion.
My opinion, yes sir.
See what I mean, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, this is what regular Americans believe about what's really happening in this country, despite the mainstream media. We're talking about Fox's News and these folks on TikTok spreading this misinformation and this disinformation, right, Patrice?
Yes sir.
Well, last question is, I guess, how long do you think the jury's going to take to do their job? How?
A couple of days. I say maybe if we lucky, maybe they might have something by Friday, but it
Okay.
might be Monday or Tuesday next week.
Oh, okay. Monday or Tuesday next week. All right. Some people
But
say. Some people say it could be real soon. All
yeah,
right.
that's what I say. It might be. I think today is Wednesday. It might be Friday.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, listen, Patrice. Thank you. All right, and I'm going to move it along.
Okay.
All right. But thank you for coming up and speaking the
Thank you for
truth.
giving us this platform.
You're welcome. This is not just my platform. This is your platform too. All right.
Thank you. We
Love
appreciate
you.
it.
All right, ladies and
Thank you.
gentlemen, let's give it up to the lovely Patrice. She is so nice and willing to come up here and tell what she believes. All right. right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move it along. All right, who do we got next? All right, hold on. I got you. This TikTok thing is glitching, right? All right, who do we have right here? Good morning, Kenny. Kenny.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you doing? This is our first time doing business, huh?
Yeah, but I watch you a whole lot, and I get so irritated with a lot of the stuff that's going on because
Okay,
when
well,
I first
wait a second. Before we get into that, I got to ask you the questions. You know how I run this thing, all right? So people can get to know where you stand on issues that are of utmost importance in this kingdom. First question: do you believe Donald Trump when he says that the 2020 election was rigged?
No.
And that's the correct answer. What about if I were to ask you, who would you say, if you had to point at one person, is the primary person responsible for the attack on the United States Capitol on January 6th?
Donald Trump.
Let's go. You're a real one. You're a real one, champ. All right, last and final question. Are you aware of, or do you know about any dirt on Joe Biden that proves he's a criminal?
Of what crime?
Sounds like no to me. Let's go, Kenny. Good answers. All right, bro. Thank you. All right, I got to give you a follow now because you never know. All right, now you said there's something that grinds your or bothers you out here, right? That's going on. What is it?
You remember? We had a lot of friends that went to jail, right?
Yeah, I mean, depend.
When you get convicted, you don't have no rights, right?
Correct. Well, you have prisoner rights.
Is Donald Trump a civilian or not?
He is civilian.
Is he a civilian?
Yes, sir.
When you get convicted, you're no longer a citizen. You are a prisoner.
Correct.
You do not have no right.
Well, you're
you
still
have the
a
right
citizen.
to go to jail.
I get what you're saying. Yes, yes. Keep going.
So how do black folks look at him as being one of us?
Oh.
When we get convicted, we go to jail. We don't get to go and collect millions of dollars.
Oh.
Make it make sense.
Oh, you're talking about those blacks for Trump.
Man, those ain't blacks for Trump. Those are people who don't know no better, who probably live in a corner, and they listen to lies that a man stopped the stimulus check just to put his name on it to say he gave you something when everybody in the Republican said no. Make it make sense. How you gonna be respect this man and he said we only idolize gym shoes?
Wow. It's like he's making fun of...
I don't go to work just about no gym shoes. I got kids to feed. I got bills to pay. And I can't pay it because you fucked up.
Oh, now keep it clean,
last
Kenny.
time
Keep
you was
it
in
clean,
office.
Kenny. Now keep it clean, Kenny, but keep on tapping into that old that spirit right there. Keep going. Let me get
as black people, as American people, period. The man is talking about being a dictator. Do you know that's one person who controlling the whole world? That man can't even read a Dr. Seuss book. How the hell you gonna let this man make it make sense, dude? Please make it make sense.
Hey, listen, Diva, happy birthday. Wow, we got 2 birthdays. All right. Well, you know what, Kenny? I'm trying to make it make sense, but...
To who? Because I hear a lot of people talk about Donald Trump is all this, and he gave to the HBC. You know, that's what I heard about some black people. They said if you put it in the book, black folks ain't gonna read it. Come on, man. Make it make sense, dude.
So what
make
you're
it make sense.
Are you suggesting that a lot of black folks that are supporting Donald Trump probably haven't opened up those books? Is that what you're suggesting?
Man, why you think the library ain't open? Why you think everybody using a smartphone? The phone is not smart until you put information in it.
You hear that? You hear that, you blacks for Trump out there? Put some information in that smartphone. It ain't gonna
Then you might get the right answer.
Yeah.
You might get the right answer. You might not like what it said, but you gonna get the right answer.
Hey man, keep on cooking, Kenny. I know you ministering to somebody. Somebody out there hears you. They know exactly.
I can't tell because you keep saying Donald Trump ain't did nothing. The DOJ. Let me tell you something. If they stop doing what they doing, are this gonna help black folks get out of jail, or are they trying to keep Donald Trump out of jail? Make it make sense. Because I got a couple of cousins and brothers that are sitting there that want to come home just like Donald Trump and get millions of dollars on a GoFundMe.
Yeah, but are they getting that kind of love while they in jail?
Yeah, they get that type of love from the man on top bunk.
Kenny.
That's the only love that I know.
So what you trying to tell me is maybe these blacks for Donald Trump need to understand that the same results Donald Trump is getting, they ain't gonna get it. They ain't gonna get none of this. They ain't gonna get an ounce of this.
What are you looking at the skin color? Please tell me you're looking at the skin color.
Now you know I'm looking at it, Kenny. You know I'm looking at it. I mean,
because last time I checked, Donald Trump is at home eating McDonald's. Everybody else eating the mystery meat in the penitentiary.
Oh, speak on it. Speak on it.
They going to the yard at 7 o'clock in the morning. Where Donald Trump going? He going to sit in the courtroom where he can fall asleep. When can a black man fall asleep in the courtroom?
Never. They put him in jail right then and there. Oh, you sleepy? Let's go put him somewhere that'll make him wake up. Right?
When a judge ever told a black man, I almost put you in jail? Make it make sense, man. That came out of the judge's mouth, man.
Believe it or not, Kenny, you and I think alike when it comes to that. Let me ask you something. What about these blacks that are out here saying Fonnie Willis and Letitia James and Alvin Bragg are corrupt people? What does that say to you? What do you got to say about that? Because these folks have been brainwashed.
Those are people that uneducated because you've never been on those type of women's level of being successful in life, period. When anytime you could tear down two black women doing their job, whether you think it's fair or not, that's your opinion. Yeah. But if you look at the background of where they come from, what they took, and how long it took black women to get in that position, you wouldn't say what you said. But you ain't got a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out, but you gonna down two black women? Wow. Make it, and then you gonna defend a man that took your rights away, that don't include black women, those were for white women, so they can produce more Republican babies because black women are not having babies. Because you know why? They can't afford them.
Oh,
black women can't afford kids right now. Wow. They barely got enough to pay the gas tank. Now think about it. You got to ask these black women, what's it come first? Putting gas in your car or feeding your kids? Which one you think they gonna do?
Feed them kids.
How you gonna get to work to get the money?
Kenny, you know how it is. Tell them, Kenny, ladies and gentlemen. Kenny up here cooking these blacks.
Hey, man, I love you, man. God bless you.
So what you're saying, Kenny, last question. There is no justification for a black person to be supporting Donald Trump in your book.
Man, you got to be ignorant. I mean, you got to be ignorant because if you told me in the last 4 years that man did a whole lot for you when it was the Democrat who was begging, pleading, even let this man put his name on a stimulus check so you can feed your fucking family.
Oh, now keep it clean, Kenny. Listen, you turned up, brother. You got to keep it clean. You know, my mama listening, Kenny.
I'm tell you, my mama, I'm so sorry, but
okay, thank you,
talking about a man that can't even read a Dr. Seuss book, and y'all want him to be president of what? The Sesame Street? I don't want to be the Sesame Street.
Listen, you're right, Kenny. There's no excuse for this behavior going on in the black community. None. All right. Well, listen, Kenny, I got to move it along, my brother.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Love you, man. Keep up the good work.
You too. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Brother Kenny. No lies protected. Oh, my God. Kenny. Oh yeah. He didn't cook so good. I didn't heard it. He got tired of cooking you MAGA demons. You blacks with Donald Trump, y'all in a lot of trouble. Y'all in a world of trouble. How dare you go after Fonnie Willis, all right, and Letitia James and Alvin Bragg. You go do your own dirty, and then at the same time promote Donald Trump. Have you lost your ever loving mind? You right, Kenny. You right. They got to be on something. They got to be. I refuse to believe they in their right mind. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move it along. All right. Who do we got this morning? All right. GME. Good morning, Dumb Money.
Good
That's an interesting
morning.
name. All right. This is our first time doing business, perhaps.
Good morning to you, sir.
Is this our first time? Good morning. Good morning. Is this our first time doing business?
Yes, sir, it is.
All right. I gotta ask you the same questions that I asked Kenny. Fair enough.
Yeah, I didn't hear it, but go ahead, sir.
All right, first question. Do you believe Donald Trump when he said that the 2020 election was rigged?
I do. I do, yeah.
You got it wrong.
Well,
Next question.
I gave you my opinion is all.
Okay, yeah, I get that. Next question. And that's an interesting photo. I don't want to get into that, but it's an interesting photo. Next question. If you had to put it on one person and say this person is responsible for the attack on the United States Capitol on January 6th, who would you put? Who would you say that person is?
I think that's kind of a trick question, but if I'm being exact, one person, I don't see how one person created that. So I'm going to go ahead and say definitely probably a form of our government, a branch, maybe something like that.
You're wrong. The audience has already spoken. You got that wrong.
That's what I don't like about it.
Last question, and I'll be honest with you. This is probably the most important question. Because I've been begging for the answer, and I haven't gotten it. And it's been over a few months, and I still haven't gotten one. Do you believe that there's evidence out there that exists that can prove Joe Biden is a criminal?
Definitely, 100.
Okay, that's a darn lie.
And that's what's wrong with America.
Okay.
Now let me ask you, how is it American though for somebody to ask for someone's opinion and then turn around and tell them that they're wrong? How is that American, bro? What happened to the world to where somebody can be asked a question, give you an answer, and it was a yes or no answer or whatever, and it was a wrong answer or right? Who makes you or who makes that right? Can you tell me that? I think it's bizarre, and I really think society has fallen and bumped its head, brother.
Okay, I've heard enough, GME. Let me explain how this works. All right? There's such thing as facts, and then there's fiction, all right? So, for instance, if you go outside and there's a stoplight and it's red, what are you supposed to do? GME?
Stop.
Who made those rules? Did I make those rules or did you make those rules?
Well, I didn't make those. I think.
Okay, so you understand. You understand. So you understand that when there's rules in place, and then we got facts to support that, then that's how we are supposed to operate. So the set of facts that you have access to, what are you supposed to do when you find out that perhaps the set of facts you got access to are wrong? What are you supposed to do as an American?
Okay,
should you double down on the ignorance?
I'll tell you exactly. There's a thing called a belief system, and then
I'm familiar with that.
Well, there's levels and layers to this.
But you didn't answer my question.
I am getting ready to articulate it exactly, sir. Just give me 1 second.
Well, it's taking you too long. We don't got all day. I asked the question.
How rude! Oh my God.
Well, it's not rude. It's actually rude for you not to answer the question. I answered yours.
Do I have to answer it in a certain way that you make me? And that's the problem I have with Democrats and people like you is that you want to control everything.
Are you married?
But act as if you're not controlling
Wait a second.
anything.
Are you married or in a relationship?
I am married to a Chinese woman.
Okay. I didn't ask the nationality of your wife.
Well, I figured I'd just tell you.
Okay, because I wasn't even going there. I wasn't even going there. But you see where you're at. You're very defensive.
It's a problem though that you controlling to a guest Do you offer someone to come over and get a drink of water and be like, stand right there, turn around, rub your belly, do what I say? Is that
How
how you
old are
treat a
you?
guest?
GME, how old are you?
I'm 50 years old.
Well, can you act like it?
I'm definitely, that's why I'm assertive and letting you know and voicing my opinion.
But
That's what
no one's
men do.
no one's asking you to be that way, right? We're two adults on TikTok trying to have a conversation about politics, right? You and I don't always have to agree. That's fine. However, I'm very particular when it comes about facts, data, and statistics, and not just me. A lot of us, especially in this live, we're big on facts and data. And there are a lot of
I can't
people in
tell.
here. Listen. There are a lot of people in here that if you were able to provide real credible evidence that justified why you believe what you believe, then we wouldn't need to hear you explain it. We would be able to make the right decision on our own. The problem here is the lack of information, the lack of credible information coming from folks like yourself.
No, see, I think it's a mental issue, a mental
It
problem
is.
on your guys' end.
Well,
a mental, like a deficiency. Maybe
okay.
you not have enough calcium, magnesium, or something in your body. I don't know, bro. But I'm trying here.
Yeah. Okay. So, what did you get your degree in?
What did I get my degree in?
Yeah,
Sports medicine.
Huh?
Sports medicine.
Sports medicine. Okay, so what is that? A doctorate, or is that just a regular degree?
Regular degree.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not really one of those like PhDs and things like that, right?
No.
All right. So I just wanted to wrap my mind around that. Okay. And what's the highest level of math that you took to get that degree in sports medicine, if you don't mind?
Oh my God, I'm almost 50. It's been years. I would probably say probably some trigonometry, something like that at the most highest level I achieved.
Yeah, so you never really went beyond like, calculus, analysis 1 and 2. You're not familiar with abstract algebra or differential equations or anything like that, right? So there's a different level of understanding that's going on around here, all right? So bear with me. I guess it takes me back to the question that I asked at the top of the show, and I'm glad that you got a degree. Were you able to pass any of your classes by making up the answers to the test questions?
By what? By what?
So you took tests in those courses, correct?
Correct.
Were you able to make up answers to pass those tests, or did you actually have to study the material?
You actually had to study the material.
And prove that you had an understanding of it, a superior understanding of it, in order to pass. So
yes.
Okay.
And
So
that's what I wish you guys would do.
No. Listen. You and I are having this conversation. I believe in this situation when we're talking politics. That's the piece that's missing with folks like yourself. It's not a calcium, magnesium deficiency. We didn't need to go there. This is good old fashioned. Do you understand what you're talking about? And if I were to really break it down to you and say, okay, so you believe the election was rigged, correct?
Well, yeah, but why are
okay,
we?
wait.
Why are
so
we talking
Donald
about
Trump
an
believed
election,
it.
though?
Remember,
that's weird, right?
Remember, Donald Trump believed it was rigged too, but there were 60 cases that were shot down. Remember that?
Yes.
Okay. What does that tell you as a thinking individual about those 60 cases not making it to the next level where it actually was able to go and prove that they were rigged? Why didn't it go forward?
Well, I don't know the real answer to that, but
because they weren't credible. They had no standing. Listen what I'm saying. So, isn't it safe to say that Donald Trump hasn't provided you with any evidence to prove the claim? Isn't it safe to say that?
No.
So you're telling me in college you would have went to the teacher and wrote on the test the wrong answer and insisted that you passed? That doesn't make sense.
And then why are you guys doing it? Then why?
No. Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said?
That's going to be your president. I don't get that.
Let me ask you a question, another question. So you said you believe there's credible evidence that proves Joe Biden is guilty. Do you have the screenshot of that evidence?
There's credible evidence, you said?
That Joe Biden is guilty.
Oh, I'm sure there is. I wouldn't know for sure, bro. How would I know that? How would I know that?
Could you pass a test with that answer, GME? Could you pass a test that you took in college for your degree in sports medicine? Could you write on there, how should I know that? And give that to your teacher and get full credit?
Well, of course not. That's stupid.
No, honestly.
That's common sense, but of course not.
Okay. Thank you for being honest. And that's how I'm gonna be honest with you. I appreciate this conversation, honestly, but that's how a lot of you look when you come to folks like us saying this stuff. All right. If Joe Biden is guilty, I'll be the first one to tell you I will stop supporting Joe Biden if you could produce the evidence.
You would be the first?
I would be the first
Okay.
person you could come to and say, Zeus, look, all this evidence, he's a criminal. And I would look at that evidence and I would do my own evaluation of it and make the right decision on my own.
Okay, so I got something for you. Frame that, what you just said, frame that. If that's the case today, just a little homework assignment for you and everyone listening.
No, I don't need to do a homework assignment.
I'm just saying to help you for the bridge, okay? Here's the truth. Go to your belief system in your mind and what you believe in strongly and pick something that's important to you, obviously, that's at the top of the list. And then compare that morally to the competitor, whether it be Trump or Biden, whichever you believe in. Compare that, and
Have you done this exercise?
Let me finish this one fact. And then when you're done, you will realize in terms of what's important to you in belief system, you will see that Donald Trump reigns by far superior to anyone else on the board right now in a true, the deep bottom of your heart of what you believe in your belief system. If you go there, you'll see Donald Trump aligns ideology with all of America in a sense.
Have you okay, I'll tell you what my concerns are. Have you done that exercise yourself?
Sure I have.
That's what's concerning to me. The fact that you said that exercise you did and look at where it has you right now.
Well, it's not like I'm a like
you gotta stop it, bro. GME, you gotta stop
what
it.
I'm telling you is
No,
I'm
no,
not the guy
no,
that
no,
thinks
no.
that Trump is just the, hung the stars. I'm a realist. I believe he's the best option we have right now. But I believe in the pipe, there will be more people coming.
Yeah, the pipe.
Will be better
I'm
than-
pretty sure you believe in the pipe. But let me ask you this question, and
Had
I
to
gotta
get that
move it
off,
on.
did you?
I gotta move on.
Did I ever
GME,
attack you?
GME? You use those words. Let me finish what I was saying.
But did I ever verbally attack you?
Yes.
That is appalling and disgusting that a grown man brought me up as a guest and I never once, I was classy the whole time, and you verbally attacked me.
How?
And you just said something very rude.
What did I say?
Well, you just said something very rude to me. You attacked me verbally right now and said something mean towards my character.
Actually,
How is that? That's the problem with your group is you guys don't see it. You pick a fight and then you want to cry when you get checked.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
problem.
So GME, I'm gonna say this, and then I gotta move it on. Number one, maybe you didn't hear me at the top of my show. I'd never allow Trump supporters to be victims around me because of the harm that folks like you have done to this country and continue to do to this country.
We built this country, brother.
Listen, no, you didn't.
Yeah,
That's
we
another
did.
lie from the pits of hell.
We
Please
all
let me.
built
Now
this
you see this.
country.
Now you
We
want to
built
talk
this
about
country.
rude? You want to talk about rude? You're interrupting me. You see who's really rude? Every MAGA accusation is truly a MAGA confession.
When did it start? After you attacked my
No.
character.
Listen. And I'm gonna say this, and then I gotta move it on. All right, because you're clearly. I believe you honestly think in your mind you're doing the right thing morally, right? But I'm here to tell you today you're wrong. You don't have the correct access to the fact. You don't have access to the correct facts, and if you do got access to those correct facts, you're not processing it correctly.
Who says I'm wrong?
I'm telling you, you're wrong.
Okay, but so who?
So this is what you do.
Who are you, though?
Wait,
Who are you?
GME.
Brother,
and by the way, let me clarify something.
Are you living in your mother's basement,
Jesus
brother?
Christ, GME. Let me clarify something, GME. You sent Zeus a guest request, which means you're on my platform. So whose rules should someone follow when they are in someone else's space? You should follow my rules, GME. Number one, the fact that you would come onto my platform and think somehow you have the superiority and dominance over Zeus shows me that you have one of these mindsets out here that believes that somehow you're superior to Zeus for some strange reason. I don't want to really put my finger on it, GME, but that's how you're coming across. The second thing is you sound to me like you always believe that you're right, which means in a relationship, especially the one you're in with your significant other, you don't allow her to actually give you the feedback you need to become a better person. To me, that makes you a wrong person, and you are actually immoral when I started to think about this. The fact that you believe Donald Trump represents the majority of Americans shows me, once again, you're not looking at the real facts out here. Every live on TikTok, especially the larger, they're most likely being hosted
Well,
by
you're wrong.
Democrats.
I gotta
All right.
correct you.
And with that being
Did you
said,
just
ladies and gentlemen,
you just
I gotta move it on. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving GME what he deserves. He definitely deserves this. He's going to get it, a round of booze and shame, because he's a liar. He's a hypocrite. He's not a Christian. He's a fake patriot, right? He's a seditionist, treasonous traitor. He's openly endorsing MAGA and their ideologies, despite the fact that there's a lot of evidence that support this group of people in the United States of America are causing the most harm to many Americans, especially women. All right, let's give them some booze and shame.
Silence! You never demon!
GME, I'm just going to say this. You're wrong, and get professional help. You can't be right every day of your life. Wake up. It's sad that your wife probably has to deal with this personality that you got. Sick. Be an adult for once in your life. You said you're 50, act like it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got to move it along. All right, goodness gracious. All right, let's move it along. Oh my goodness, we got a lot of people. Who do I want to do next? Good morning, my good friend, my partner in crime, Miss Boss Diva. How are you doing?
Good morning, Zeus.
She's
I'm
sick of
doing
him, right,
great.
DJ Kitty Cat, huh?
I'm doing great. Even though, you just had a racist in this box, and I feel, dirty right now.
Yeah. Yeah, he probably doesn't think he's racist, right?
Yeah, he thinks he's not racist. I'm quite, because he has a Asian significant other, so he feel like, the tokenized position he's not racist and all that crap.
GME, this is feedback for you,
I'm gonna
champ.
say this
Listen
to
up.
GME though. You didn't build this country. You damn sure didn't build this country. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna leave it at that. With that, you are delusional. You definitely need professional help. I will say that. I agree with Zeus.
Yep.
And you sound very, very ridiculous. And I feel sorry for your chick. I ain't gonna lie.
You're right. I feel sorry for these folks. Really, they out of touch.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, that's really sad. That's really, really sad. I mean, all the words that was spewing out of his mouth was just, anyway. So I wanted to play something for you because my bestie in her show this morning, she played this, and the way that she did it was pretty doggone ingenious. So I'm going to duplicate that damn show.
X.
Yeah, that's right. So this is what we gonna do. We're gonna listen to something real quick. It's only 40
Okay,
seconds.
the jury is deliberating now. All right, good morning.
Yeah, they deliberating, baby. Guilty. Whatever his name is, he's gonna be really, really sad in the coming days.
You hear him crying? He was crying in my box.
Was crying.
Zeus, you're mistreating me.
Oh, Zeus, you're not fair. They
don't realize I'm one of the nicer people. Right? I'm one of the
dude, we
nicer
got a
people.
First Amendment right in this country. If you want to believe what you want to believe, okay. But that don't make it true, and it don't make it right.
Bingo!
Okay, straight up. But, I'm going to pivot from the racist right now. And I want you to listen to this real quick, Zeus, or everybody in the kingdom.
I totally agree with Robert De Niro. I am one suffer from Trump derangement syndrome. I think he is a threat to democracy. Really? I think that he led an attempted coup in this country. He said he wanted to suspend the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election. At the least, that's just not a patriotic thing to say.
I don't believe that.
He absolutely said that on
I will
Truth
look
Social.
that up.
He did.
He wanted to suspend the Constitution.
He said we should suspend the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election. He said it on Truth Social, then said he didn't say it. So I read Project 25. I'm one of those guys that's like, I don't know if he will necessarily leave. I hope he does, as you said. I hope he does. Even if I totally agree.
Wow.
Okay, so
that's
who do you
Charlemagne
think?
the God.
That's who it is. I was just about to ask you, who does that sound like to you?
Oh, he's singing a different song right now. Ain't that something?
Yeah. Bestie brought up a really good point. When you're canceled, And he was on Fox News, by the way. Sitting at the chair on Fox News.
Thank you. Wow, that's interesting. That's
Yeah, that's
interesting.
very, very interesting. And
You're not impressed, Black Millionaire. She still ain't get. I ain't got no love for Charlamagne. He crossed that line. I understand that too.
Right. See, I didn't play that because I think that he's anything good. You know what I mean? I played that to show how folks will flip flop for the right amount of cash.
Oh.
Right? Number one. Number two, he already knows that, it's just a matter of time before he's just canceled, erased, and tossed it, just out of sight and out of mind.
Wow. Yeah.
But now he's trying to walk all that back. And then he turned around in another breath and said that he wasn't going to endorse anybody.
Right, I remember that, and I remembered I did a video about some of the criticism he was making about President Biden. So that's why when you played that, I'm like, that's that's very interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's very interesting, and Zeus, when the situation is like that, we call out coons. Okay, at every turn and every corner. Okay,
Amen. Yep.
Because they need to be dealt with one way or another, and what better people to do it than our own people.
Amen.
Right?
Yep.
So I wanted to put that on blast to show that we don't care how much money you got, how famous you are, what you do, whatever. If you are wrong, you are wrong. And we are not going to condone that behavior or nothing. See, that's the difference between us and MAGA. MAGA, they'll just accept anything and everything from Orange Jesus.
Amen.
You know what I mean? They don't care. They just like, oh, is that what he said? Okay, we're going to run with that. Is that what he said? Okay, we're going to run with it. They don't question it. They don't research it. They don't care. And then for dude to get up here on your panel and just run his mouth about all kinds of ridiculous crap, it just goes to show, you know what I mean, that there is a lot of trash that need to be taken out.
Hey.
Okay.
No lies detected. Tell him, Miss Boss.
Yeah, that was wild, Zeus. And I seen the look on your face when I came up.
Yeah.
You were very irritated and agitated behind that because he was supposed to be so educated, right?
Poorly
he knows
educated,
trigonometry.
though.
He knows this. He has common sense. This, that, and the third.
Yeah.
And it just didn't add up. Like he
well,
was just
I know I'm gonna sleep good at night because he's gonna get that ultimate MAGA reward that I always talk about. I love it when they live in delusions of grandeur. I love it because I know that's where they're going. They're gonna be sorely upset this November. I tell you, Miss Boss Diva. All right, I'm very, very patient and dedicated, and sometimes I can be petty. GME. Your days are numbered, champ.
Yeah,
You're going to be crying on TikTok real soon. You might as well delete that account, champ. Seriously. he might as well delete it.
And did you hear that, I want to call her something, the stanky niche, right?
Yeah.
She actually filed some kind of complaint against Judge Merchan.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that. Yeah. Like I said, they need to file it against Judge Aileen Cannon, too.
Yeah, but she's not worried about Aileen.
Nope.
She worried about Judge Merchan and that sentencing that he's going to bring down on Donald Trump. Amen. And the good thing about it is that if he wanted to, he could send him to jail if he wanted to.
Exactly.
Priors or no priors, he can send him to jail. So hopefully we will get that verdict in a couple of days, y'all. Maybe tomorrow, because I know that the jury is tired. Don't you think the jury is tired?
Absolutely. And
absolutely. That's what I wanted to share.
All right, then.
I've been over my time, but I love you, and I see you out in these streets, baby.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to the beautiful Miss Boss Diva. No lies detected. All right, let's keep it cooking, ladies and gentlemen. All right, good morning, Nutty. How are you doing? Oh, my God, look at the time. Oh, my gosh, time is flying when you're having a good time. Yes, Nutty, how are you doing?
What's good with you, brother? What's good with you?
Just another day in the kingdom, doing what I do.
So I just want to talk about gloats. Can we talk about gloats?
Gloats, yes, greatest liars of all time.
Can you please tell me how you are representing the biggest liar on the face of the earth and then have the audacity, the unmitigated goal to get up in a courtroom and call somebody else the greatest liar of all time when all you have to do is turn around and look at the defense table and look at your client, and there you have the real greatest liar of all time. Did he really think that we didn't catch that?
Right.
Now, I know we can't see this in real time, so we're only talking about what's being reported. But when I first heard that, Zeus, I was like, that has to be a mistake coming out of the courtroom. Surely that's a mistake. I'm sure you felt the same way, right?
Yeah.
For him to call Michael Cohen greatest liar of all time, I
Yeah.
mean, like, like I'm flabbergasted.
Yeah, this is what Donald Trump does. Okay, yeah, he projects his lies, he projects his insecurities onto other people. Nutty,
But
it's really him. He lied over 30,000 times while he was president of these United States.
that's correct. But
More than all presidents combined, and some. No, don't you traumatize me! Don't traumatize me with that U-Haul photo, Nutty. You know what I think about those U-Hauls.
so should I get that one, or should I get, you
Nasty.
know, or should I get a different one?
They've
Because
ruined the brand. They've ruined the U-Haul brand, right? MAGA has done this.
or maybe I should get that one since it's only 1994.
Wow. Wow. So they took you spend $20 and you can use that to haul a bunch of Trump supporters to Washington D.C.
I
That's
mean,
some
hey,
sick stuff.
listen. At least they're being resourceful.
You can't make this stuff up, folks. I've never looked at a U-Haul as a mass transport vehicle for people. You know those things don't got seatbelts in the back. They don't got air conditioning, and yet these folks did that. That's some sick stuff.
At least they're being resourceful. They didn't want to appear to be hypocrites because they talked about the gas prices. So what better way to just carpool, or in this case U-Haul pool, and just have 30 people and they all split the cost of 1995 because they couldn't
Sick.
afford those eggs,
Right. This is some
so
sick stuff.
so
You
um
can't
so
say it's not a cult.
and Zeus, I just want to bring some
Oh, it
facts.
works now. Let's go.
Just bring some facts right quick. Y'all, the last time the gas, I keep hearing MAGA say the gas under Trump was $1.50. That's absolutely not true. The last time the gas hit a national average of $1.50 was in 2006. That's almost 20 years ago, y'all.
Wow.
That's almost 20 years ago.
Tell him,
So
Nutty.
stop with the lies. We're tired of the lies. We're tired of trying to debunk the lies. And I think the onus is up on us to just stop trying to debunk the indefensible. You like we're wasting our time, energy, and efforts. So obviously, what you're doing is effective because with all the reporting, with all the bans, you getting bananaed and all of this stuff, we know that you're doing the right thing, and we know that the live is having its effect that you're going for.
Yeah.
It's getting the message out there and holding these demons accountable.
Yeah.
One thing I can say about you, we go back and forth, we banter, we laugh. We know that you are a liar when it comes to the Triple H. We know that part. But outside of that, we know that this live here is one of a few, maybe a handful of lives on the entire app that people religiously tune into every single day, Monday through Friday, because they know whether or not they agree with what you say, it still bring in the MAGA demons because for whatever reason they keep complaining about how much of a liar you are, but they keep showing up day in
Tell
and
him,
day
Nutty.
out. They keep showing up. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're such a liar, then why do they keep showing up? So that tells me they like to keep company of liars. That's why they're MAGA demons. So with
Tell
that
him,
being
Nutty.
said, Zeus, man, listen. I love you. I love the platform that you provide. I was just sitting here listening and thinking, I'm like, dang, this dude, he puts in a ton of work to do this show. And yes,
Amen.
we're calling it a show because it's a show. It's a show. You do an hour, 10 minutes of a monologue, and then do about 45 minutes to an hour of guest requests. That is time and effort and energy, and people are entertained by it. You keep the attention of 700-800 people religiously.
Amen.
Keep
You
doing the
got.
work, brother.
All
Keep doing
right.
the work. We love you. Have a great day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give my good friend Nutty Professor a round of applause. No lies detected. Minus the part about me being Triple H Nutty. You gotta work on that, champ. I mean, listen, look at my features, man. Listen, I'm all the way around looking pretty solid, right? Can't you say that, Nutty? But he's not lying, yes. We do this religiously day in and day out. Alrighty then, let's move it along. Good morning, April. How are you doing, April? Oh my God, I got it.
Doing great, Zeus.
I'm doing.
I know you. I know you're running short of time, but I just want to address Jimmy and his list. So,
Jimmy
so
Snuggles.
I have Jimmy. You know, GME.
Oh, G. Oh, you call him Jimmy. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
GME. That's what I think it's supposed to stand for.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay, good
so,
catch.
yeah, I've compiled a little list, and we're gonna look at this in a MAGA's perspective. We're going to say that we look at the United States as a business, okay? Of what, 340 million people,
Yeah.
roughly, give or take. So,
Right.
so we're gonna do a list. So we've got two people that's running for the same position,
Correct.
and we're gonna do background checks, and we're gonna check out the references and people he's associated with, and we're gonna find out some information. So let's go all the way back to now. This is a business we're looking at, okay, and we're
Yeah.
wanting to hire a businessman to run this country in this business.
Right.
So in 1991, God, when I did a background check, I found that this man was fined $200,000 for removing black workers from the casino floor.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, that
What
that
about
that
that?
that's
What about
very
the 19
concerning.
and I'm not going to list them all. I'm just going to do a few. 1998 was fined $1.4 million for hiring of undocumented workers.
Oh, that's very concerning, April. That's very concerning. I don't know
And
who that is, but it's very concerning.
it's the same year we had a $447,000 fine for money laundering violations. Money
Oh.
laundering.
Oh, that's very, very concerning, April.
Do we want someone that has this stuff running our business? Oh my God, what about, holy crap, we've got, 2017?
Oh, that's right around the corner.
Trump University fraud.
Oh.
$25 million fraud. What?
Oh.
And the
That's
foundation
concerning.
fraud.
That's concerning. There's an alarm going off in my mind,
Holy cat.
flashing.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm looking at these two people that's filling out for the application for this job, there's a lot of horrible stuff in this one guy's background. Should we just overlook all this horrible stuff that this man's done?
Not for this kind of business. Tell them, April, not for this business, but
And even on human resource level, human resource is going to have a problem with, the removing of black workers. We're going to have a problem with that.
yeah.
Civil rights violations.
Yeah.
We're also going to have a problem where we see that he was just fined recently of 2024 of $83.3 million for essaying a woman and defaming her. Are we gonna hire this gentleman? It's
Not over
crazy.
here. Not over here,
It's
April.
crazy.
Absolutely not.
So GMA, when we compile a list, we actually have lists of all the reasons of why this man does not deserve to be in office.
Thank
And
you,
we're not
April.
even going to take all the accusations. And his friends, we can't even get a decent reference because they're all in jail or convicted or charged. We can't even get a decent reference out of this man.
April,
I
that's
don't know.
hilarious.
I don't know what we're gonna do.
That's
So I
funny,
guess
April,
we're
but you're
gonna have
right.
to choose the other guy because we have not compiled a list on this guy. We have great references. We have 50 years of community service in
Right.
our government trying to pass laws to help people. Yeah, we don't have all this other problems. So yeah, that's my list, Jimmy. So yeah, we'll do with that.
April,
I think we'll take the other one,
you
Zeus.
hurt his feelings, April. You hurt his feelings with that list. How do you feel about doing that, April? I mean, but you're spot on.
Well, I think we've compiled our list, Zeus. I
Yes.
mean, we've had a time of doing this, watching this man try to destroy this country, and we're just sick and down tired of it. I mean,
Yep.
we're not gonna put up with someone that has this background. Even before he was in office in 2016, when he
Right.
got elected, and in office 2017, go back before that, people.
Yeah.
Go back before that. That's
Amen.
what type of human being that man is.
Tell him,
And
April.
that's it.
All right. Well, listen, April, I appreciate you. All right. And thank you so much for bringing that information. All right. That list of Donald Trump's qualifications or why he shouldn't be qualified, right, to the kingdom. I appreciate it. All right.
Absolutely. Have
Ladies
a
and
great
gentlemen,
day,
let's
sweetie.
give the beautiful April a round of applause. No lies detected. All right, and then let's get it going. All right, I see you straight facts. Good morning, Shay. How are you doing?
Good morning, Kingdom.
Good morning. How are you? Nice minion picture. All right. Shout out to the minions. Thank you, Jess. I appreciate all the work you do. I really do. All right.
Yes, I know. She's so awesome.
Wow,
Good
everyone says
morning,
he's good to you.
everybody. Good
Yeah.
morning.
And
Hi,
I see ya.
everybody. Love you guys. You guys are awesome. I tell you. We just such a loving family.
Yes.
I just love our group. Can't find any of this. I've tried, looking at all the, the Republican lives and
Yeah.
stuff. And it's just nobody has the camaraderie that we have and the true love that we have for each other and support that we have for each other, which is just you just can't find it. It's just really interesting. They can't determine who's really a Republican or know that the whole thing with older millennial, right?
Yeah, I followed that. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Another MAGA demon
That
exposed.
MAGA demon, right. But you know what they're saying though, Zeus?
What's that?
He's not MAGA. He's not MAGA. He's
Mmm.
not MAGA. I'm like, he's not?
That's how they do you. That's how they do you once you end up getting the ultimate MAGA reward, right? He's
Right.
not MAGA.
He's not MAGA. And I'm like, wait, this man has been content after content is pro-Trump. Trump. So who's MAGA then?
Yeah.
Because I always thought that rhinos were the ones that stood up against Trump and criticized Trump, or like the Liz Cheneys and the Mike Pences, and anybody that didn't go along with the show was a rhino.
Yeah.
So then if you continue to support Trump, aren't you MAGA? Right?
Yes. Yes. That's how you're a MAGA if you support Donald Trump, and I don't care what you think.
Right.
That's how this works.
I mean, MAGA in the chat. Am I right about that? Like, what determines MAGA if you're not supporting? I mean, I don't. And then one of our friends always says MAGA's a movement.
Oh,
It's
I
a
don't
brand.
trust that. Yeah, I don't trust
MAGA's
that.
a brand.
No.
I'm like, no, it's not a brand.
More than that,
So
it's a
you
lot.
brand it on your butt and on your shirts and on
Tell
your
them,
hat.
Shay. Tell them, Shay. No, we know what MAGA is. MAGA is crime. MAGA is
Right.
crime. Political terrorism. That's what it is.
Right.
Treason. MAGA is treason.
DJ Kidding.
Conspiracy theories. Right?
Right?
I know what MAGA is. It's a bowel movement. Exactly.
It's a bowel movement.
It's racism. Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of, holy
Trump University.
moly. Okay, I've got an audio clip for you.
Uh-oh.
Eric Trump said the quiet part out loud. He said, "We will win because we are white."
What?
Not kidding you. Not kidding you.
Wow.
I'm
So
not kidding you. I have the audio.
when they confirm it,
Yep.
there's nothing
Look
else
at
left to
everybody in the
debate.
chat backing me up. He literally said this. Okay, so I've got
Let's
the
hear this.
audio.
Let's hear this racist
So,
MAGA demon.
So he's got people kind of yelling at him and stuff, but I just want you to okay.
Let's hear this racism.
Nonsense. They don't buy it. Apologists in New York, millions and millions and millions of dollars. And New York deserves so much better than this. And I cannot wait for the day that we win. We will. We're right. The entire country knows this is nonsense.
Did you hear it?
They don't buy it. Apologists in New York, millions and millions and millions of dollars. And New York deserves so much better than this. And I cannot wait for the day that we win. We will. We're right. The entire country knows this is nonsense.
Okay.
They don't buy it. Apologists in New York.
Wow.
I can't wait. I can't. Listen, I listened to it again and again.
Wow.
Because I'm like, he's either speaking like Elmer Fudd by saying, we will, we win, we white, or we right. Now I kept going.
Oh, no. Ain't no way.
Nope, he said it. We will win.
No, look at him. They're trying to say he said right, not white. No, he said white, MAGA.
He said white. I listened to it over and over because I try not to spread any sort of misinformation.
And he was saying that to the judge and the jury. He was getting that to them to let them know you better do what you're supposed to do. Look at our skin color.
Yeah.
So there you go.
They're not hiding it anymore. I keep bringing this to you, like.
Wow. Racism right in your face. Just here you are, you black for Trump. Slap, slap, slap. Racism, and you don't care. Y'all ought to be embarrassed.
Yeah, it's a
disgrace.
Movement, all right. This
is some sick stuff. That's what the demon said. Yeah, this is some sick stuff.
That's what he said, and I
look at Tom. Tom says he has a speech impediment. R's sound like W's. R's sound like W's. Would you give Joe Biden that same degree of freedom, Mr. Your Majesty? You wouldn't give Joe Biden that degree of freedom, so we're not going to give that little Eric individual that degree of freedom. As far as I'm concerned, he meant what he said. It's racist, and you know it. And the fact that you're trying to defend it means you are just as guilty.
Tiny tank top man, stop it.
Wow.
Stop it. Please stop it. Guys, you have to stop. You got to stop. You've got to understand.
This is some sick stuff.
What is going on? They're out. They're just saying, when they did the Unified Reich, when they've done so much stuff that they're literally telling you this.
Yeah.
And that's why they keep saying, we're getting 20% of the black vote. We're getting the Latina vote. We're getting the. No, you're not. And you know that. And that's the thing. But then you've got this guy, the son of the ex-president, right?
Yes.
Running for office again, saying we will win because we are white.
Thank you for the subscription, politically here. Well, listen, Shay, I thank you, okay? But we got to...
You're so welcome. Okay.
All right.
Everybody have a wonderful day in the kingdom.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the beautiful Shay. We're down to the wire. All right, I'm not going to be able to get to everybody. All right, I am so sorry. I'm not going to get to all of you. Oh, my gosh. I really am very, very sorry, but I got to do it. Good morning, Straight Facts. How you doing? Yes. All right. Good morning.
Good morning. I came up here and I heard James. Was that his name, James?
GME?
GME.
Yeah, we call him Jimmy. I think April called him Jimmy. Jimmy James.
Yeah,
Jimmy.
You don't remember people's name when they're talking crazy. That's the reason why we have to do those test questions on them, because they get to talking crazy. They don't know if the doggone grass is green or the sky is blue. But I tell you what they know. They know that Joe Biden is their president. You know how I know they know that Joe Biden is their president?
How do they know? Please let them know. Please tie their shoes.
They think they so smart. The reason why I know that they know that Joe Biden is their president is because they know exactly who to target on this app.
Oh. Go ahead and unpack that.
If they didn't know who was telling the truth or what the truth was, they wouldn't know who to target. But mighty funny They targets the right people. As a matter of fact, they targets my bestie all the time.
Wow.
Does she be telling the truth and dragging them? What you think?
Wow. That's unfortunate that they do that and reveal themselves to be possessed with that nasty MAGA demon, straight facts. And they don't think we see it.
They don't think we see it, but we
Yeah.
see it so clearly because they tell on themselves. For instance, let me give you another for instance, Zeus. They run around saying all the time that we cheated them out of the election, right?
Yeah.
Well, you
Good.
got GME, Jimmy, or whatever his name is, came up here, and
Yeah.
he obviously was speaking to you in a very condescending manner, Zeus.
He was.
Wasn't
Yeah.
he? He pretended like he
He was
knew
real
more than
uppity up
you.
in the box, wasn't
Wasn't
he?
he? He did a little da 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 white man.
Oh, that part.
Little bit of that, didn't he? But this is what
Mm-hmm.
I'll say. If they are so much smarter than, because remember he kind of giggled when he said we built this land. Remember?
He showed did he let that slip out of his mouth, but he did it like Eric Trump did, right? They just end up
Yeah. He
telling
was
you what they
very
really
arrogant.
think. Yeah.
Yes. So listen, if they really think that they're smarter than us, because that tends to fall through with all of these Trumpers. They think they smart. They come into our box and tell us who to vote for because we just don't. We ain't capable of thinking properly, you know.
Oh yeah, the
You know,
brain sizes and stuff. You know, that research they've been, supposedly following along with.
right, exactly. Well, we sure did by their thoughts. We outsmarted them in the election because we cheated and we won, right?
Yeah. We're the better criminals. Straight facts.
We
We're the
are
better.
we that I think that means that we're smarter. We
Yeah.
outsmarted them in the election. So if we outsmarted them in this election,
Yes.
seems like to me we can outsmart them in this upcoming election, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Yep,
Yep. You
yep,
know it.
yep. And I say the way that we outsmart them is go out and vote. Go get your mama, your daddy, your grandma, your grandpa, your uncles who ain't never voted before in their life, your niece, your little
Tell them.
cousin from the south side over there about the other well the tracks. The other cousin ain't got no car. Go get her kids and her kids. What they don't understand is that we talk to everybody in our family. We don't
Amen.
be separated from folks in our family like they do. We
Amen.
talk to everybody in our family because
Everybody.
we like to actually talk about real life stuff like
Mm-hmm.
everybody else, the realistic stuff. Again, the grass is green, the sky is blue. So we are going to go our butts right on out there like we did in 2020, and we're going to vote until we can't vote no more. You hear me?
Amen.
And that's
Amen.
really all I wanted to say. And GME, the next time you come on up in here, baby, don't speak to my damn friend like you're the smartest thing on earth. Because if you were the smartest thing on earth, you wouldn't be supporting Donald Trump. And I'll say this again, Joe Biden is y'all daddy.
Hey! Tell us that.
All right, now I've been waiting my boy Zeus. I know you short on time. Let me get on up out of here. I love y'all.
All
Y'all have
right.
a wonderful day. Thank you for all the gifts, and I do appreciate you.
I appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to Straight Facts once again. One of the hardest people, hardest working folks on this app besides Zeus. Listen, you can't make this stuff. Thank you, Straight Facts. Love you so much. All right. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I was going to do the birthday thing, but I gotta run. All right. So we're gonna do it tomorrow. Oh, I know. But listen, the show went further than I thought it would. I do apologize. All right, but I gotta wrap this up and I gotta land the plane, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I gotta say this though before I get up out of here. You all deserve a round of applause. Diva Talks, it is your birthday. Diva Talks, ladies and gentlemen, it is your birthday, all right? But you know what? All right, I'll let you come up here with Zeus while I play the outro. We'll just do it that way, all right? Diva Talks, and these are the people whose birthday it is today, all right, Diva? So sorry, I gotta run, all right? But come on up here. Where's the other gentleman? Alvin, where are you at, champ? Where are you at? I told you we were gonna. Oh, Alton, there he is. All right, these are the birthdays today, ladies and gentlemen. Show them some love, and we are out of here. Oh, wait a minute. Before I say that, I got to do this. One, to the panelists, to the subscribers, to the gifters, and to the moderators, thank you for all that you do, helping to make this show exciting, engaging, and entertaining. You deserve a round of applause. All right. And one last round of booze and shame to all the Zeus haters out there. These are not just my haters. These are your haters. They get on TikTok and spread misinformation and disinformation on behalf of Vladimir Putin and the Kremlin. And they promote hatred, evil, misogyny, bigotry, racism on behalf of Donald J. Trump. Let's give them our final round of booze and shame. I got to do it. All right. All right. Diva, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. Listen, I normally do a longer segment for the birthdays, but I'm pressed.
It's okay.
I just want to say happy birthday to you and Alton, all right? I appreciate all that you all do. Ladies and gentlemen, show them some love. On our way out of here. Take care, ladies and gentlemen, and stay safe out there in those TikTok streets. Let's go. Happy birthday. We're consolidating it. All right. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. There you go.
This is how I move when I'm walking like Zeus. This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus.
Hey!
This is how I looking like Zeus. I like to act
great show, everybody.
Zeus. Don't be playing with my move when I'm grooving like Zeus. You thinking
Let's
that you cool till I look like Zeus. Thunder in the sky like you look like Zeus.
Hey!
I make my own rules.
I'm a god, call me Zeus.
I'm flyer than the eagle.
Hey, thank you everyone for tuning in. What a great show. We're going to continue to bring it to MAGA. Donald Trump is currently waiting for the jury to come back. And you know what that means when they have, they're going to come back and do the right thing. Yes. All right, Venus Hurd, I see ya. Mount Negro, Lady Rima, let's go. Alton, happy birthday, Sham Diva. Hey. Player hating on the god. All right, Zeus's minions, I see you out there. See, there's a lot of love out here, ladies and gentlemen, right? All right, you know what we do. Hey, Mount Negro, I see you, Tony, Mr. Octane. And I see ya. Hey, Jetty Bed. Oh, once we get the verdict, yes, I will go live. After President Biden, though, all right? Diva Talks, I want you to have a great birthday, all right? Go out and get you a nice boba on Zeus, all right? Please. Alton Jackson, celebrate safely, brother. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do, you dude. Garvey, then you're guaranteed to lose. Blackgate, I see ya. Slick as Rick.
You can't swim, don't be in the pool, even though
hey.
telling me be cool. I'm just sitting on my throne while you looking like a goof. Time to let loose with the truth.
Hey.
Yeah, grab your goose. Hey, mama, let me drink a boost. I know the ladies love me cause I'm sweet like a tooth.
Hey, GME, you're on the wrong side of history, bro. Listen to Zeus. Your life could be turned around if you accept one thing that I'm saying, which is you're wrong. You're really wrong, bro.
This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus. This is how I stare when I'm looking like Zeus.
I like to act a fool when I'm moving like Zeus. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Cool as a day. Look at that one. About to hit the goal. Politically heard. All right. Here we go.
I just want to find 11,780 votes.
Ray, you're on the wrong side. Okay, Reggie, where you at, Reggie? Where you at, Tiffany for the people? Natalie, Nathan's mom. Let's hit him with the Jack Smith remix. Alton, Diva, let's hit him with it. Let's go.
He's deranged. Jack Smith. 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 He's deranged. Jack Smith.
Hey!
Donald Trump is indicted and they take one charge and they turn it into 36 charges. And he's a big Trump hater. Openly, he's a Trump hater. And his wife is even more of a Trump.
All right. Well, thank you, Diva and Alton. I appreciate you too, all right?
Thank you, Zeus.
You're welcome. Have a great
Happy
rest.
birthday, Alton.
All right, Alton, you too. Have a happy birthday. All right, all right. Now, one last thing we got to do, ladies and gentlemen, before we get up out of here. We got to drop the bomb, and you know exactly what that is.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
That's right. You ain't black. You ain't nothing but a modern day slave. I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Take care and stay safe. All right.